Hi, everyone. Let me check to make sure the mic is good because you know us and mics. You know us and mics. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Themis and Thought. Grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking, go and get that. Hello, lovely people. Hello. Um, Sorry I'm like a minute late. I was in the Discord and there were people going through things, so I had to like make myself available to the Discord so that we could talk. I'm gonna apologize for my tardiness, and I wanna blame the Discord. I wanna I wanna I wanna apologize for my tardiness, and I wanna blame the Discord. Um, with MJ. All right, please give MJ a wrench. Let me try to do that now. Thank you. How is everyone doing? I missed you all. I missed you. I missed you. I missed you. Add as moderator, managing moderator, period. All right. So today is like no other day. I bought this man something. He said he said he was gonna pay me back, right? I'm blocked. Ladies, don't trust these men. Wait, why you give men money? Oh, thank you. 8 months. I appreciate that. All right. So, what was I going to talk about? Oh, for my opening, because we're going to get into a conversation about Ashley. So the Discord showed me a video, an interview that Ashley did, and I saw that Yanni, Real Talk with Yanni, shout out. I think she did a review of this already. So this is going to be your second review that you're watching. I watched part of hers, but I'll go back to watch it because after watching some, I realized, oh, wait, I want desperately to review this also. So I didn't finish Yanni's video. We'll go back to it. Um, Separately, the Grammy nominations are out, and it's well, you guys don't care about that. Hopefully, I'll do a members live where we talk about the Grammys. All right. So that is the opening, real short and sweet, because we have a long video that we need to get into. So bye, not bye. Bye. Thank you all for being here. Have a great Curry Up and Eat has been a member for 28 months. Thank you so much. Since we confessing, the dude flued me out and I'm ordering all the things. Period. 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 Great for you, Curry Up and Eat. Yes, please, Timus, I need you to drag Ashley. Well, you're gonna be kind of disappointed, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Um, I feel bad for Ashley. I do. But I do have this weird thing where I'm like, um, it almost feels like there's a part of me that's like, so you just gonna do anything to have a man. And that's really sad. That says something about her and maybe deep insecurities. We know the man is colorist. I don't care what you say, that man is colorist in my book based on those texts that I saw. You know he got some kids that he is not taking care of, and you are aiding in him being degenerate. You went and married this man, and now you are in front of him debating everything. Someone said, "Who is Ashley?" The lady on the thumbnail. I am a member. Can you add me on Discord? Thank you. Oh yeah, yeah. Have you added? There should be instructions when you become a member. On how to become a part of the Discord. And I'm going to have a call with the Discord after this so we can debrief. So, anywho, let's get into it. So, if you don't know who Ashley is, I'll show you who she is in a minute. So, let's get started. Let's get it started. Girl, why the Discord members doing new members added in 2025? No new members till 25. Girl, why y'all doing this? Taisha, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out for you. I'll figure it out. Not y'all building a Discord call. Girl, we literally spend every day, all day in that Discord talking. I need to set some boundaries. I need to set some boundaries. All right. So let's watch. I'm going to pause a lot, so apologies in advance. I'm going to be pausing, but I want us to watch this together. Grab your coffee, water, tea. It's Friday. Go kick your foot up. Go kick your foot up so we can talk. Oh, all right. Ready? Are we ready? Drop a one if you're ready. Oh my God, I'm so cold too. Ashley's so pretty too. Oh my God. All right. Hi, Ashley. If you're watching, we're going to be reviewing this foolishness.
Yeah.
We are very excited to get into everything.
Are
with
we
you.
wearing a ring?
No, because I was walking around
Okay.
town and I'm just like,
Oh,
eh.
yeah, she's like, this is a big old rock. Let me take a picture.
Someone
Okay,
will
okay.
take a picture
We
on the
are
internet.
recording
Okay,
this
yeah. Oh,
prior
true. Okay.
to the finale
Yep.
being released.
Mm-hmm.
We are very excited to have you here. Well, one, we just obviously, like many fans, fell in love with you and your relationship watching you on your journey.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did you end up on the show?
My friend from high school, who I don't even talk to that often, sent it to me on Instagram. I was like, oh, you'll be perfect for this. And I was like, I don't know. So I called my godbrother and I was like, do you know about this show? Because I wanted to make sure it wasn't something like a little ratchet or, something that would like affect my career.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, no, this would be the perfect one for you to do because like it's solely based on like love and like friendships and things like that. So I was like, okay. So I literally got out of bed and recorded my like intro video in front of my closet door, like no makeup, no anything. Very bold of me.
Yes.
And so I just kind of like dove in. I was like abstinent that year and I was really focusing on myself. So I was like, this could be a next step to that. And it most certainly was.
Had you been a fan before?
No, I am now.
Have you gone
Tune
back and
in,
watched
tune in.
any old seasons?
So I did watch season 6, obviously, because, I knew by that point that I had just filmed.
Right.
And then before I went, I watched season 4, mainly to see what they wore, because we had to make sure we didn't have like logos and things like that. So I was like, oh, let's see what they wore.
Okay, yeah.
And just to kind of get a gist of like the conversations that, people have in the pods and just like what the dynamic was with the women.
So I don't believe that she didn't know what the show was, but that's neither here nor there. The fact that she's sitting up here talking about she didn't want to be a part of a ratchet show. Should I? No. Like I'm having cognitive dissonance now. To say you didn't want to be a part of a ratchet show when the most ratchet season of the show was your season of nasty work. And not only was it ratchet because your season ratchet, it was your season was ratchet because of your husband. Your season was the most ratchet because of your husband. That is diabolical. Russian has been a member for 21 months. Thank you so much. Your man is the ratchet show, right? I mean, I think at this point, people aren't reaching out to Ashley, trying to get her to change her mind and leave the man. You can't get an annulment at this point. Like, it's kind of done, right? They're married. So I think at this point, people just laughing at her. And I think she thinks she's defending herself against people who are trying to help. I don't think people are trying to help anymore. I think people are just laughing. And unfortunately, they are the clown in the clown show. They are the... No, I don't know what I'm doing now. It is what it is. I said I'm going to let go and let the spirit move through me to talk about how I'm going to engage with this. This is what is coming out. Let me check my Discord. 8 evictions is nasty work.
Women like in the lounge and things like that. Because I was like, oh, like worst come to worst, I'll just leave with a bunch of girlfriends, which I love.
Yeah.
Total girl. So
So you mentioned you were abstinent for a year
Yeah.
before. What drove you to that decision?
Dating in
hard?
DC. Dating in DC.
Stupid question.
Yeah, literally.
Well, she implied that it was a choice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, it was actually December 22nd. I
Oh, shit.
remember the exact date of
Okay.
2022.
4 o'clock in the
Yep.
afternoon.
Yep. And I just was like, I left like a date with this guy, and I would just call my god sister. I remember like tearing up and being like, I just feel so like not connected to anyone, and I feel like I'm wasting my time and my soul, my body, all of it. And I'm not a casual girl. I tried to be. I wanted to see like what Sex in the City was like,
Yes.
And I was just like, I can't do. I just. It's cool if you want to do that. If that's your thing. I love that for you, but I just am not her.
You're not a Samantha.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I love her though. She's my favorite. But
Samantha's your favorite?
not Carrie really, but Samantha's close second. Just because like I live vicariously through her, I guess.
Yes,
And
I so much get her personality. It is the very much I wanna be. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna finish that statement, but it's the very much I wanna be. And so like I get her personality, and I wish she knew that she's like people aren't laughing with her. I hope she knows that she's content, and that the people around her who are using her for content don't actually agree with her. And none of them people would have done what you did.
and just like the boldness of her. So I tried to be that girl, and it just wasn't fulfilling for me.
Mhm.
So that year I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on my career. I'm going to focus on my relationship with God. And I just want to kind of cancel all ties to anyone. So that meant not even going out on dates, because that could lead to anything, and look, you never know. So I was just like, I'm going to totally cut off everything. And then what's
It was
meant
like
to find me will.
Easier not to buy the cookies at the grocery
It
store
really
than not
is.
eat the cookies.
Yeah. And then like see them sitting there and like, maybe.
Yeah.
So I just
Nick
didn't.
struggles with that.
Yeah.
The cookies part.
Which is why I think Nellie's trying to kill me, because yesterday she bought Oreos.
Oh, well, I do buy things like for myself
Double
sometimes.
stuffed or regular?
I
She
like
likes the
thins.
thins.
Oh,
I like thins
wow.
because I don't really love the cream.
I like
Okay,
double
okay.
stuff, but
Yeah,
turns
same.
out any Oreo is pretty good.
I freeze them.
Smart. That's something you would do.
I
You love a
typically-
freezer.
I like a frozen chocolate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
Back to you not having sex. Well, that's a very interesting choice you made. And did you find that it worked for you?
Well, yeah, apparently, it did work for me, but it was hard.
Yeah.
It was boring as hell.
What did you learn about yourself during that period?
I learned so much. Along that journey, while I was abstinent, I also was like reading self-help books, like this book called Welcome Home by Najwa Zebian. And I just learned that when you're centered within yourself, when people come and when people go, you still remain. And so you don't have to feel lonely, because you have you, and no one has you better than you. And
So you read that self-help book, and you understood that your path on your own does not have to be lonely, because you have all of that, whatever. Where did this desperation come from? Where did the desperation come from? Because if you had all this realization about yourself and your journey and your whatever introspection, foolishness, good, yeah. Why are you so desperate to hold on to a man with 3 children, 8 evictions, child support cases, and the internet dragging? In a way, you're not going to convince me that you are centered and that you are good and that you've learned to deal with it. You're not going to convince me none of that. What you will convince me is that you don't want to be alone, and any man will do. And this man that you have will do. Because last time I checked, he ain't got no real job. He ain't got no real play. Wild. I'm just going to move on. Allegedly. Allegedly. By the way, Jesse Wu has been breaking stories on this and story time with Ricky. So just shout out to those two for their deep journalistic work. This girl, all of this man business is all over the internet.
And so for me, it was the greatest thing I could have done, because I've always been confident, but I am a people person, and I really began to love just my alone time and not consider it as lonely, but consider it as me time, and just feeling whole as me.
Enjoying your own. I feel like that is peak happiness when you can like not talk to anyone. Where I think most people would consider it like, oh, I'm lonely, or oh, I feel alone. It's like no, I'm enjoying myself so much.
Yeah, like a bowl of pasta and a glass of.
Also, why are these people sitting around pretending like this is interesting? None of this is interesting. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. Like, I don't like people wasting my time and playing in my face. I do not like people playing in my face. Let's get to the point. We know why we're all here. We know why we're all here. I don't know where in this video it is because I'm watching this live with y'all. But like, ain't nobody want to sit here and listen to y'all be boring. Apparently, this is a really big podcast, and I don't know why. I don't understand why, girl. Because none of this makes sense. Boring.
The red wine on Friday.
I'm sorry.
Is this a bad day or what? My favorite night out is a night in now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you were almost perfectly trained to go on this experiment that is Love is Blind.
Yeah, for sure.
Going into it, once you had decided to do it and you got like the green light and they had casted you, what conversations did you have with yourself about your approach? How would you were going to go about finding love? And then I guess, how nervous were you about whether, like, not to use the show's slogan, that love is actually blind? Having seen the show and the pressure that the show can put on its castmates, and just it just comes with it. I don't know if I could do it. Like, I don't know if love is blind for me. You know, and I recognize there's so many other aspects to love and relationships outside of physical attraction, but I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I guess for you, going into that experiment, what did you prepare yourself for? What conversations did you have?
So, like, for me, I've never been a reality TV kind of girl. I've always been more of like a series kind of person. So I was a skeptic from day one, which I think they welcomed, because you don't have to believe in it fully. You just have to be open to it. So I was open to the idea of it, but I didn't know if that person really came out and wasn't someone I was attracted to, how that would really make me feel. I've always been a soul searcher. I've always been someone that tried to look at people's heart, because I feel like even with me, people in dating, they always view me from my outer appearance. I'm like, do you know who I am? I'm so much more than that. You don't even know. You're missing out so bad. On just like the other.
I have like 8 different jokes going in my head, all of them really bad and inappropriate and terrible, so I won't say any of them. But let me just tell you the general area where these jokes are. Looking at people's heart and you knowing people and trying to get to know people is wild. It's a wild thing to say while you decided to be with the dusty stuff dust. Like that is wild to me. But I believe that alone. No, and I'm not doing any puns either. No one performs harder on the mental balance beam than a pygmy. No. I think that there are people who so desperately want to be in relationships that they will look over everything, justify everything, bend, twirl. They will dip it and do it. They will figure out a way to make it work in their mind mentally, even down to being the bad guy, right? And let's be clear, when you are sitting by a man and making claims that, oh, he doesn't have to go see his children, you too are a problem. Yeah, you are just as bad. Like, no, I wouldn't say just as bad, but I'd put you in the same cell. If I'm locking people up for being toxic, you would be in the same cell as the man you're dating. Yeah, I sure would. Because it's this idea that he might treat you that way, but he won't treat me like that. When we know this man is a whole colorist. 8 evictions. See, no one can vet these men. No. I promise we don't want to get into a vetting convo. Because if we get into a vetting convo, y'all gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me because I used to believe people couldn't vet. I still do. My Discord has given me enough grace and dragging to continue to believe that people can, in fact, vet. But this is not a vetting issue at all. This is not a vetting issue. This woman saw the red flag and dove headfirst into it. Yeah, no, she is a problem. She was not tricked. This is not an issue of her not knowing. This is an issue of her wanting to be delusional. Y'all don't understand Pennywise. I see his true heart. Okay, girl, period.
the other qualities that I have. So I really wanted to find that in a guy because dating, I've always gone for looks, and those relationships clearly haven't worked. So although I was a skeptic, I was open to it. And I just knew that in order for me to really fall for someone that came through those doors and they weren't my type, that connection would have to translate into the in person. It would have to be something about their aura, their energy that would really make me still feel that love that I felt across the wall. And the connection was so heavy. So I reached a point when Tyler and I were dating, behind the wall, that I was just like, I don't care like what he looks like. I swear I don't. Like, it's like I could break this wall down right now and just like, so when we finally seen each other, I was like, phew, okay, this is great. Like, oh yeah, like, I'm like, looks don't hurt, let's be real, it doesn't. But I don't think that it would have been a determining factor if he wasn't my, ideal type. If it was too far off, it would have been different. It would have been a struggle. I think my mom and my friends would have been like, girl. Yeah. But again, attraction, like, you ever see like a guy that's like not that cute and everyone wonders why you think he's cute because of something?
Yes.
It would have to be that.
Yeah.
And so the conversations that I had, like before I went, or just even while I was in there, is just show up as who you are, and what's meant to find you will. And yeah.
Did you have any connections with anyone else prior to really?
Someone said something, and I won't say who. Someone said something, and I won't say who. They said women like this, they like hearing them talk because they know that they will convince themselves of anything to not look bad in the public eye. And I was like, I don't understand fully what you mean. For some reason, I'm getting what, like, the way she puts on, it's very annoying. Like, it's very like, I know what I'm doing. And I would be like, in my mind, I want to be like, yes, you better know yourself. You better know your worth. You better know. But knowing who she chose and why she chose who she chose, and then hearing what she's saying about her insight, like hearing what she's saying about her insight and perception and intuition and all of that, knowing who she married to, it's like, girl, no, absolutely not. You're just annoying. None of this is real. None of this is true. All of this is fake. All of it is fake. You are not that person. You are not that person. You are not. Not even by a long shot. Yeah, it is giving holier than thou. And I don't mind it. Be holier than thou. Be that girl, but actually be that girl. Don't just pretend while you're dating a man who has a bunch of eviction, child support claims against him, and 3 children that he can see. Like, the fact that, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're going to sit somewhere with that. You are not that deep. You're not that insightful. You're not that girl. Absolutely not.
Landing on
I did. I've had, and by connections, I'll say I've had great conversations when I was in there. I would say, okay, Tim. Tim was my second.
Oh, Tim, okay.
That would have never worked.
Very
Yeah.
serious man.
Very serious. And in there, he wasn't, though. In the pods, he wasn't. He was more kind of like fun. And we're like, all having fun behind the wall, drinking and playing games. It was cool. And then I just think for me being such a progressive kind of woman and like, I want to work and I want to do these things, I think he has a very Southern mentality about certain things. And so I began to shy away from that. But I thought he was a cool person for sure. But
she want to work. She's a progressive type woman. Why didn't she date Ramses? I feel like her and Ramses would also make, these men are looking for sugar mama. So that's good for her. Cause I know Tyler is back there like, yeah, I love a progressive queen. I love a working woman. I know Tyler is like, yep, that's good. This woman said, I do not want a man to provide for me. I'm the provider, which is fine. Look, fine. Working women love it. Always have your own. I stand a working queen. But is the man working though?
just conversations and not connections.
It's interesting thinking about the psychology of that atmosphere and having never done it, but like hearing you speak about what your life was like leading up to it. You had this year of kind of enlightenment, abstaining from sex, very centered around getting to know yourself, a very deliberate year. And it sounds like you really got out of that experience what you hoped.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you felt like you could truly be yourself. And it's interesting to hear you speak on Tim, how, the person you got to know outside the pods is not who he represented inside the pods. And I'm curious, I would be willing to bet there's probably a fairly even mix from not just Tim or yourself, but there was a lot, I think, is that true? There's a lot of people who you got to know and you're like, yep, that's who I got to know, or even some of the ladies you got to know versus other people where it's just like, wait, what? And I can't help but wonder, it seems like that type of environment would be very good at allowing people to kind of not be themselves in a way, to kind of like play a character in this very weird world if they weren't truly comfortable with who they were. Like it seemed like you were, especially given the year leading up. Am I making sense?
Yeah,
Or
that
like,
makes sense. I think another part of it is when we're in there, we don't have any outside influence. So we have.
Can someone drop real quick where in this they get to the point? I need to, because here's the thing. I feel like these people on Love is Blind really think that their lives and like being on the show is interesting. Let me be very clear, it's not. It's really not. And I care nothing about what she got to say. If she was someone that I didn't know, I would probably want to listen to her enlightenment and how much she's grown and how insightful she is, blah, blah, blah. I would want to know that. Because I know who she's married to, I don't care nothing about what she got to say about her own self-development. Obviously, you didn't develop. And you spent a year away from men's by yourself doing absolutely nothing. That's what you did. Someone said 19 minutes. All right, we're at 11 minutes. Let's please hold my hands and let's try to get through it together. Because I'm actually bored. Bored.
Have, no phones, no mom, no best friend. And so you're able to be, maybe a different version of yourself.
It almost seems like you have a lot of people go there claiming to want to find love, but in reality, what they're doing is going there to find themselves. And you had spent the year prior to that finding yourself so that you were actually ready to find love. And maybe Tim was just there to find himself.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope if that's what he got out of that, experiment, then that's, good for him. I think there are a lot of people like that, that went there not only just to find themselves, but just to, I guess, see if this was something they were able to do. And I think that once real life hit and we're all like in each other's presence again, you see the physical, you see people become their past selves before they enter the pods. And that can cause a disconnect from the person that you met.
Yeah.
In there, because it's like, wait, now we're shifting. And that goes for both parties, whoever, I think the ones that work are the ones who stay consistent.
What were your past relationships like prior to coming on the show?
So I dated an athlete. Sorry, don't want to judge all of you. Yeah, I was.
Was he a kicker?
Yeah, like a real athlete. Sorry, Nikki. And so I knew him since I was 13. We dated since I was 19, almost a decade. And then from there, I thought that was leading to the altar. And, there was infidelity there, of course. Boo, like, come up with a new, it's old routine. Yeah. So after that, though, it took that one time for me to realize, too, that, like, I not only deserve better than this, I started to see other things, too. That, like, oh, this isn't my person. Damn. Like, did I waste all of this time? So I think I got comfortable.
What could that other person have done for this lady, Ashley, to realize they are not the person, her person? Because I feel like her threshold for keeping bad men is very high. It's very high. When you have multiple evictions, when you have multiple evictions, when you have multiple babies that you're not seeing, when you have child support, when you don't have a job, like all these things are too much. One on its own should be a disqualifier, right? So the fact that you are married to a man with all of those problems, it's very difficult to take you serious. Like wait. Y'all can't be laughing at my language. Let's continue. Not only that, he's on TikTok and Instagram liking all of these these young girls moving into college, allegedly liking these young girls going into college, saying first day in my dorm room, and they're all like white or racially ambiguous women, which go hand in hand with the tweet about her looks. So that's the man she married. That's the man. That's the man she. Whoa. Jesse, woo.
Comfortable and didn't want to move on for a while. And then I was like, no, this isn't a choice. Like, this is what you have to do this. So from there, I just casually dated for 4 years. Like, I never found, I'm very, very, very picky. I don't even choose dinner easily. Like,
she said she's very picky. I'm sorry, wait. You're very what now? Yeah. I feel like she created a life in her head. I think she created a persona for herself and her man in her head. And she refused to get out of her head to look at the reality. Whatever La La Land kind of world she created for herself, she living in. I kind of wish I was this delusional. I kind of wish I was this delusional. I do, because like I would love to be able to just ignore reality. I feel that must be a really good life. That that must be a really good life to just walk in and just ignore reality. I'm really picky. It's nasty work. I am really picky. It's absolutely nasty work when you pick a man before you even saw his face on a show called Love is Blind. You went on a show called Love is Blind, picked a man, married a man who have 3 children, 8 eviction, and child support outstanding, and also loans that he needed to pay without a job. And you pick this man, and you come out here saying, I'm real picky. I feel like you don't know what picky means. She's a picky eater, and she needs to leave it there. I'm real picky as an eater. Period. Just leave it there.
I know that
Tell
about
me about
myself. I am an overthinker as well, which people deem as a bad thing, but it can be a great thing. And so yeah, my dating.
She's also not an overthinker. She's not an overthinker would be stressed. An overthinker is not going to be out here doing this. An overthinker would have left, most likely, already. As soon as that man dropped, oh, by the way, you know how I said I wanted children and pretended like I didn't have children? I have donated sperm and I have a bunch. Yeah. I have a bunch. An overthinker would have been gone. An overthinker would probably wanted to reach out to the baby's mother to confirm whatever this man is telling her. Desperate, maybe, but not an overthinker. I am so sorry. An overthinker, you are not. Picky, you are not. Developed, you are not. Self-possessed, you are not. Reality, you are not in. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Nope.
Besides that, when I was in long-term relationships, like, with him, and then whenever we break up again, it'd be flings, but nothing more. So this is my next really big one since that.
Well, I guess going from all of that, how did it feel to have someone like Tyler express his love to you the way that he did? I mean, I feel like one of his lines that America fell in love with was like, I will protect you. I will make you feel safe. You make me feel safe. Like, I love the fuck out of you. Like, just the way he expressed that to you. How did that make you feel?
It was an overwhelming feeling, honestly, because it's funny. I know a lot of the times in there I say, It was like, that's what I usually, heard it all before kind of thing. Like, will you really be this person? And it was refreshing also to hear because I believed him when he said it. It didn't seem like a yes. And it was something.
So was it, I've heard it all before. Or did you believe him? Because those are conflict. You see, this girl just talking. Ashley just talking. If you have a friend like Ashley, just ignore her. Just let her talk and just randomly interrupt with questions now and then block her out and go do what you want to do. Just leave her to herself and let her talk. I think that imagination she has is a beautiful thing, and she probably should start writing fiction. I think she should start writing books. She thinks she is sunshine and I heard it all before. Not coming home late. It seems you barely beat the sun. Tapping my shoulders, thinking you gonna get you some. Smelling like some fragrance that I don't even wear. So if you want some loving, I suggest you go back there. Where you came from, day to day.
I always wanted someone to make me feel, and I didn't feel like an option with him. I felt like the only option, like the only choice, and that was a gratifying feeling, especially because I am like one of the most loyal people you'll ever find in your life. Like for my friendships, I've had friendships for 25 years. So I liked that the person I ended up falling for wasn't the same that I had dated in that aspect, and crying and stuff. Like I was like, what? Like, and the thing is, I cry so much in like the pods. My friends are like texting me like, that's the most I've seen you cry since I've ever seen, since I've known you. Oh, wow. And I'm not a big crier. I cry for like movies or like someone else's life, but not about my own. I'm more like a let's focus kind of person. So he brought that side out of me, and it was a very vulnerable state for me to be in, and very scary at the same time, and especially when you've been hurt before. So it's a risk.
Did you know the most conventional cleaning products are filled with harmful chemicals that are designed to clean every room in your home? ZipRecruiter is the hiring site employers prefer the most based on G. The holiday season is here, and uncommon goods makes it less stressful. You can personalize, leave it and tell me type of energy, and I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but right before it seemed like those episodes dropped, there was chatter online about Tyler allegedly having children. We're like, holy shit, what's going on? How did he not bring this up in the pods? You know, especially all the conversation that you and Tyler had about kids. I think right after that, we had seen a conversation with your father and Tyler and you all about having kids. It was just like, this is not something you just leave out. So let's maybe start there in terms of, can you bring us into the room where I think a lot of people were wishing, why wasn't this caught on camera? How did this even get brought up? And I guess, how did the conversation go from there in terms of what you found out about Tyler's past? And then can you start shedding some light on what the truth is? Because there seems to be a lot of speculation and accusations and rumors that are flying all over the internet about the man that you married. And if you could set the record straight, that would be super helpful.
Yeah. So the reason it seems awkward in that scene when everyone's like, what is happening? She's in this beanie and she's like sitting here, you know, very serious. And I've been so giddy the entire time. Right. So the night before, ironically, me, Tyler, and Nick D went out to like a bar down the street from the complex we all were staying in for like the reality part of it. And we had like a few drinks, and then we came back, and then he was like sitting on the couch and
no, but no, obviously she's on a podcast, so no. But also, like, yes, where it's like, girl, you don't have to try to be better than, you don't have to try to build yourself up that way. Because the truth is, no one believes it. No one believes you. But like, the way you just wrote that, the way you just, let me find this. I think it's Sunshine Anderson. No, there was Sunshine Anderson. I wrote that song for her.
tone was kind of weird. And I just was like, okay. Like I drink red wine too. So I'm like kind of sleepy. And he's like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, about what? And so I sit down. He's like, sit down. Oh, no, he said, sit down. I'm like, when someone says that,
Ooh,
it
anxiety.
immediately makes me anxious.
Yeah, please don't get mad. I need to tell you something.
Yeah. And so I'm like, and this is worse when they text you it. And you're like, just say
we
it.
need to talk.
We need to talk in 10 hours.
Yeah. So
But not right now.
Yeah.
Later.
It's like, just pause and don't say it, you know? So I sit down and I'm like, what? And so he's just like sitting there staring. And then
blah, 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 blah. This is the part that I actually care about, so I'm definitely going to pay attention. But I have to own that it is so difficult to pay attention. How are these people? How do they have a podcast? Like, I don't understand. Like, who want to hear this? Like, this is so boring to me. I want to apologize. I thought this was going to be like more. I didn't realize this was going to just be like bloviating about nothing.
Weirdest way. And I go, please tell me you don't have an STD. Like,
Oh my.
you know, because that would be, I'm sorry, not against anyone who does, but like that's something I should know
First,
again
absolutely.
prior
Yeah.
to getting married and being sexually active, right?
It's also something that if you did find out would be difficult potentially to deal with.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's something you would have to learn to accept.
100%.
So there's no
Yeah. And so he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, what, you got some kids or
Girl,
something?
Oh,
Like
you
that.
guessed
And
it?
he doesn't laugh.
No.
He doesn't laugh. And my heart sank
Yeah.
to the ground. I feel like I'm put back there right now as I'm telling you the story. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so he begins to deep dive into the conversation a little, not fully. I won't say deep dive. He begins to allude to
right, Jane, like, all right, if you don't want an STD, fine, that's fine. I'm assuming you're saying incurable STD. I'm assuming she's saying those that are not cured. Like, that's what I'm assuming. But she's fine with them kids. Let's hear it.
the fact that he was a sperm donor for, you know, a lesbian couple who's married. And, you know, he was afraid to tell me because he didn't want to lose me. And I was like, that's robbery. You robbed me of my choice, because in the pods, like all factors are at play, you know, and
No. He robbed you of a choice. You currently now have another one to make. And because you don't want to make that choice that you have to make now, you said, oh, you robbed me of my choice. No, you still have a choice to make. You still get a choice. When he's telling you that he has children out there are donated, you still have a choice. Your choice isn't gone. He did rob you initially of that choice, and now you also have a choice to make, contemplating the fact that he did rob you in the beginning of a choice. The choice should be clear now. She only brought up the robbing of a choice as an excuse to stay.
Was so caught off guard. We talked from like 11 until 4 a.m. about the situation, but I didn't really ask the questions I really wanted to in that moment because of shock and because I was just trying to get around the fact of how we had all of these kids conversations and this is happening to me. And I also was kind of like, oh no, you know? And
Do you
so
remember, like, when you asked him, like, what do you have kids? And he just stood there. What were the first words out of his mouth in terms of, well, how did he actually describe his situation?
he was like, well, yeah.
I know this might have been intrusive, but I'm going to ask, where did you go to donate? Through who did you donate? Where are the paperwork for donating? Because my next question is going to be, if you don't have any of that, was this naturally done? Oh, I would need to know that. You're not about to, oh, I don't, no. You have a lot of explaining to do. You have a lot of explaining to
Yes. And I was like, how many? And he was like 3. And he said, I was a sperm donor for, you know, a lesbian couple. And at that conversation, we didn't deep dive into like, to what capacity, right? And so I, again, wasn't asking the right questions in that moment. I mainly was just trying to figure out how he lied. Like, omission is a lie. Let's be clear about that. And I remember just being hurt by all of it because I just didn't know. Because even if it was just a mere sperm donor situation at the time, that's still something I should have known, right? So from there, you know, he was saying
She just don't want to know. She don't want to know because if someone tells you this, there is a million question that immediately comes to your mind, particularly if it's like a friend. But she said she was frazzled. She was very demure, very mindful. And so she couldn't really think through her thoughts. So let's hear what she did.
he doesn't want to talk about it on camera, or, you know, he doesn't want to hurt that family or like have people searching for them. Like these kids have to go to school, like whatever. So I'm like, there's no way I can continue in this experiment if we don't talk about this in some capacity, because I've been giddy the entire time and my energy is this low right now. The viewers are going to see it. When you meet my friends, they're going to see it. They know me. We have to talk about it in some capacity. So the next day I leave, I get my stuff, I move back home to my own apartment. They are like, you know, come back and just have the conversation to whatever way you guys feel comfortable on camera.
Did you like reach out to production
Yes.
and be like, hey, just so you know, this happened?
Tyler did.
Tyler did. Okay.
Yeah, he reached out to our producer.
Did they have any clue at all, or did he, like, what do you know about?
They didn't say if they did or didn't.
Gotcha.
They didn't say if they did or didn't.
Okay, whoa, pause. You didn't go. I am so. Maybe they're all in on this. Maybe they're getting like paid millions of dollars so that Netflix can have this kind of promo. Maybe they get, because that don't make no sense. That does not make any sense at all. It literally does not make sense for you to be like, oh, I don't know if production did or didn't know. What? Oh, they're going to have to tell me if they knew or not. This sounds like a setup. Either Netflix knew and they all knew and this is all a big scheme, right? Because this is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Or after the fact, Netflix and them are working collaboratively to like fix the image because they want the couples on the show to actually work and be seen as good. Because I don't see a world in which you're on a show and someone just pops up and, oh, I have kids, but we're on a dating show and I don't know if production knows. Why? That doesn't make sense. It does not make sense that she doesn't know if production knew prior to them being together that this man had children, particularly when they didn't want to put it on TV. No, this is not clear to me. It's not clear that they knew after and not before. I don't think it's clear that they knew after and not before. Because why does she not know if production knew? That is something she should know now. When a man on Love is Blind tells you, oh, I am a donor and I have 3 children, you go to production and find out, and she's saying, oh, she asked, but she's not clear if they knew or don't. No, that's a very direct question you ask. I believe people should ask her this question again. I need people to ask her this question again. Ask her if production knew. I want to hear what she says. Because I don't know why she's even doing these interviews. Where's Tyler? Where's Tyler? Tyler Taylor, I don't care what his name is.
He more so was like, this is what I told her and this is what's happening. And she's like leaving me, is what to his knowledge. And so we come back and we have a second conversation about it, kind of like on camera.
Right.
And we hit the first one to where I'm shocked. And everyone's like, oh, she's so calm. She's so gracious. I'm like, yeah, because the night before was a little different.
Okay, so you lied to us. You found out, you called the camera crew, and then you pretended to just be hearing about it for the first time. Okay, so you're part of the problem too. You concocted all of this mess because you probably knew all of this was going to come out. This is weird. This is weird. This is weird. Sorry, it's that kind of night. It's that kind of night.
Right. And
Like
now I have time to.
How angry were you? Like,
I was pissed. I was pissed.
Rightfully so.
Because everyone, like, honestly, there's another guy, which sounds so shallow of me, but there's another guy in the pods that had a kid, and I knew that wasn't what I wanted for my life. So I didn't even consider him.
Right.
Granted, I didn't have a connection with him, but I didn't, even if I did, I don't know if I would have done it.
yeah, and his answer, at least at the beginning, I assume you'd agree, was a bit of a cop-out to like say, well, I don't want to talk about this on camera because I want people searching for them. It's just
She knew it was a cop-out, but she didn't care. She just said having kids is not what she wanted for her life. So she's fine with a grown man with 3 children abandoning his children to be with her. She feels elevated by that, and that is toxic and disgusting from him and her. And no, I will not just drag Tyler. I see the comments, oh no, but she didn't do it. No, she tried. She's terrible too. She's terrible too. If you are willing, talking about, oh, that's not what I wanted for my life. Well, it is what you have now for your life. You didn't want a man with children, so you have a man now who has children, and you're okay with him abandoning his children because that's not what you want for your life. You're okay with that. That's trash. That is trash. That is trash. Like, it is not okay for you to be sitting up here talking about, oh, that's not what you want for your life. Well, girl, you should have left him. Lock her up too. Like actually lock her up too. I would tell you to like the video. It would be very helpful for you to like the video. I don't know if I'm going to ask again because, like, I'm actually bored and annoyed. So I'm sure y'all are bored and annoyed. So thank you for sticking with me.
it's like, why didn't you think about that before you showed up?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And
Hey, Sober Bobo, welcome. Hopefully you watch Love is Blind and you know who these people are.
it's like, well, even if we don't mention it on camera, they're gonna find it.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them. You can't hide. Like, you cannot hide. They're gonna find it. So
I was about to say, I just remember I think it was the reveal when he was like, people are going to start coming out of the woodworks and saying stuff about us. Did that?
So ironically, that's funny because people are like, you know, he tried to warn her. He tried to warn her. You know, he alluded to that. That was my question, actually. I asked him, if I were to sit down with your ex right now, or flings or people you
Sure.
dated, what would they say about you? Because for 2 reasons. One,
Good question.
I want to see if I can see remnants of that behavior and begin to look for it. Not that I'm searching for it, but just to begin to pay attention. And 2, I want to see how you're going to answer, because it's a red flag when men blame everything on a woman.
Yeah, well, she was
So,
crazy. She
yeah,
was,
so for me, it was refreshing for him to say, like, yeah, they probably would say I wasn't the best. And he's been vocal about that. Like, I wasn't the best dating at all, you know? And so for me, that wasn't a red flag.
It's a great question. And any healthy person who has a past who gets asked that question should be able to point out a couple of annoying things they do that every ex they've ever had has brought up.
100%.
You know, and it's more of a like, hey, these are my annoying habits. They aren't necessarily things that you need to. I mean, you can be insecure about them because they're probably bad habits you haven't figured out yet. But they shouldn't be like non-negotiables that like people leave you for. But that's a great question to see how self-aware someone is and how much they've learned about who they were in relation.
What have you done, Tyler, in your past that your ex would say is bad? I don't know, bringing your fiance to your baby shower and she not knowing that the child that is being born into this world is your child. I think that's pretty messed up. I think it's pretty messed up to be engaged to a woman while impregnating another woman and bringing your fiance to the baby shower for this other woman, even if they're quote unquote a lesbian couple. The fact that, by the way, let me just be clear, that lesbian couple who came out, one half of that lesbian couple who came out and was like, oh my God, I don't know the second one. I don't believe nothing she got to say. Let me be very clear. I believe absolutely nothing outside of Tyler, whatever his name is, Tyler Perry, that he was sleeping with everyone. That's the only thing I believe. Because it is weird that you... So let me tell you the story how I heard it. This was on Jessie Woo. And Jessie Woo interviewed the lady who was impregnated by Tyler. Forgot her name. Doesn't matter right now. I'm attempting to not say her name because she's not a public person. But she's on there. And Jessie Woo and what our story time, forgot that lady's name, asked her, is it true that while Tyler was engaged, he brought his then fiance to the baby shower that you had where you were pregnant with his child? Did the fiance know that it was Tyler's child that you were carrying? Bree, right? Bree's gonna come and say, I saw them there. They did come to the baby shower, but I don't know if she, the fiance, knew that the baby that I was carrying was her fiance's. What? So you're telling me you got impregnated by someone's fiance and you don't know if the fiance, the woman in the relationship, knows that your child is her fiance's child? And y'all sitting up here like, oh my God, Bree. Girl, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would want to interview her. I would want to interview because it wouldn't be nice. Like, you had a part to play in the degeneracy. Your wife left you, Bree, right? That's her name. Your wife left you, and then Tyler moved in, and then you had another child, 2 children with him. Oh yeah, no. I have too many questions. I have too many questions, and all of them end with you probably not liking me. The way my brain works, even when I'm sympathetic to you, I cannot not be critical of nonsense. Like, you're not going to just sit up here and tell me, oh, some man brought his fiance. Some man brought his fiance to my baby shower where I was pregnant for this man. And the fiance, I don't know if the fiance knew that the child that I was carrying was for her fiance. That does not make sense. That don't make sense.
Relationships, and if they don't have an answer, even if they're not even talking shit, that's a red flag.
100%. Like, I feel like in past relationships I've been top tier, but on reflection I know there are things that I did that didn't help, right? And so if you can't even say that, like, if you can't even say like, it takes 2 to tango, then that's a problem. So whereas other people seen it as a red flag, I seen it as a green flag in that moment. And
well, that does give context because I'm glad to know that you were the one, because it came very random of him being like, just so you know, people are gonna start coming out of the woodwork saying crazy shit about me, and it was like, whoa, what's going on?
Your question wasn't in there.
I'm glad that.
And so then, like, fast forward, we have that minor, conversation to where I'm like truly hurt and just want to give the viewers a little glimpse at what I know to some capacity. And then they show us again, like when it's dark and we're having another conversation. And I ask him, do they know what you look like? And he says, oh my God, I don't think
Not that I
so.
know of.
Pauses, looks to
It
his
looks to
left, and goes,
Tell, that's a tell.
You know,
Yeah.
people have tells and
I
stuff.
don't-
Immediately, I knew.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I don't
When he-
think so.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Immediately you knew nothing. He lied to you. You asked this man if his children knew what he looked like, and you're, I don't know. And you're like, oh no, but I know the truth. He lied, but I picked up on the truth. He lied. That's the problem. Not that you know the truth or don't know the truth. He lied to your face. And now you're sitting here believing every other word this man is telling you when this man is an obvious liar. He lied that he ain't got no children, stole your choice from you that first time. He lied about the children knowing you. He lied about whether or not he meet up with these children. He lied about being their father. He lied. This man is a liar. And you're just up here like, I am developed. I'm above this. I'm smart. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, 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 no. Get smart, get developed, get agentic, get all of that out of your vocabulary and own the fact that no, you're just as desperate as the next person. And mind you, I'm not mad at you for being desperate. I think it's cold outside. Everyone wants a warm body to like walk. It's cute to be walking down and holding hands and all of that. Dream the dream of the dreamers. I'm here for it. Desperation isn't the problem. It's the action engaged with because of said desperation. That is weird. And period. Oh my God, I spent a year just like develop. Go develop some more. Or maybe stop developing. You're just sitting there like, ugh. You know what? Right before I came on, I was in the Discord talking about how I'm empathetic and I have empathy for her and I care for her. So I don't know what I'm gonna say because I don't want my feeling of feeling sorry for her to cloud the fact that I find this all to be degenerate and for her to be very wrong. I am glad I no longer feel that in my discourse. I am glad I no longer feel that in the discourse. I think I feel it generally, but in talking about it, I realize how women like this kind of helps to foster the environment for men to run amok. Because these men aren't smart. Tyler, Taylor, whatever his name is, and I will continue to say Tyler and Taylor because I don't really care. The fact that this man literally lied to you, came clean, tricked you, lied again, and then lied some more, and you are out here defending him, bending backwards to make it make sense. You are doing the emotional and logical labor. Well, there's no logic in there. So you're in there doing the labor to make yourself believe what you want to believe. He's not doing anything to you right now. You are justifying your own foolishness. You're justifying your own reality because you're hanging on so tightly to a man that obviously is a liar. You're fully aware of what's going on. Fully aware. This is not a vetting problem. She's fully aware of it. Fully. Eyes wide open.
Immediately. What does the hell does think mean? Right. So immediately from there, when he says that, I knew. So that evening we had another conversation, and that's the conversation that I learned it all.
So at this point, are you trying to juggle between what you need and want to know while simultaneously trying to respect his private?
You had a conversation with a lying man, and you have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to come on here talking about after a conversation with a lying, degenerate, homeless man, you decided, oh my God, yeah, now I understand everything. From a conversation with a lying manipulator. Let me take manipulator out because that is too high a praise. Ain't nobody being manipulated by this man. She's walking in. Like, this is so weird. We didn't talk, but like after that night, we had a conversation, and like now I have all the information that I want. Girl, what? Are you dumb? Like, ooh. This man has been lying to you this entire time, and you had a conversation and you think you have the truth? You think you have the truth? This man can't even maintain a home.
privacy.
Yeah, and even my mom was just like, "This is a very sticky situation, Ashley. So how you guys approach it needs to be, you know, right?" Because she's like, "They will taunt these kids in this family if they want more, you know, more information." I'm like, "Yeah, but at the same time."
Nobody is taunting the mom and the family. They're taunting you and your degenerate man. That's who is getting taunted. Don't put the children in front of you as a shield like you care about those children. You did not care about them children when you're having this man leave these children life and not be a father to them. You did not care about these children when you're calling them donors. Like, you don't care about these children. Stop putting these children in front of you and your degenerate man's family. Don't do that. Stop using kids this way. If you cared about these children, you would have your husband pay the money he owes in child support. You would try to create a relationship, foster some kind of relationship with these children. You don't care about these children. You said children aren't things that you want in your life, and that's why you eliminated one man. But now you take this man with 3 kids and you're having these 3 kids be abandoned by the dad because you don't want to have them in your life. Now, Tyler is trash, and we can drag him for his own action as a man. But since Tyler is not talking, since Ashley wants to be the one in front of the public defending her dusty relationship, she gets all of this. She gets all of this. She gets all of it. Ew. Ew, just ew.
If it does come out and I don't talk about it, they'll think I'm shocked, which they end up thinking, I don't know, like why they think I wouldn't know this. But regardless, I felt it had to be said in a way.
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to navigate. I'm just so used to being very transparent that it was hard for me to navigate that conversation too, to try to make sure I didn't divulge anything. Like he said, you know, there are 3 of them as a lesbian couple, like, you know, whatever. Offline, you know, he shows me pictures. That was more questions for me. And as I began to talk to him, his friends, his mom, and his family, is when I began to get a fuller picture of what was actually going on. And that's when I found out that, you know, the ex-wife had left and Tyler stepped in. Which the ex-wife's name is on the son's birth certificate. I've never seen the twins' birth certificate. And when the ex-wife left, she was pregnant with the twins. And Tyler grew up without a father. His father's like dying of bone cancer. He wasn't even invited to our wedding. And Tyler's like, when I gave my sperm, I gave it to a family, not for you to be a single mom. And that's when he jumped in. That's when, and for me, I guess the reason that it was easier for me to understand.
Are you dumb? Oh my God. Oh my God. Even if this is true, sorry, I need to calm down because I might start actually going off. Let's take Tyler's version of events. These were all donors, right? And he stepped in because he wanted a family for the children that he quote unquote donated. I hate that. Sorry. These kids would know him, and he was a father figure for these children, and you are okay. You are okay, even in his scenario where he's like, oh, now I'm done, just randomly after you've. It's actually insane. It's actually, it's actually insane. You are okay for his version of events. You're okay with that? You're okay with him stepping in to be a father and then just stopping. So he's telling you that he stepped in to be a father. Let's see where this is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Trash. Just absolute trash. Oh my God. Sorry, I don't know if I've been explaining what my thoughts are. They're a bit jumbled, but this is it, simply put. If you donated, you have biological children, and you stepped in to be a father figure to these children, you don't get to go in and out of these kids' life like that, particularly when you're putting up that you go into their life because you had an absent father or your father was sick and then whatever. You then go into their life because you don't want what happened to you to happen to them. You don't then just randomly decide, oh, I'm fine with them being raised by a single mother now. I'm just going to leave their life. You are trash. Trash. So even Tyler, even his version of events, if you accept it as a woman, this is trash.
And what's talking to friends and him and, going deeper.
Yeah.
Is my godbrother's gay. He was in my wedding, he was a bridesman. And, at one point when I didn't know how my life was going, we laughed and joked about it. I could never do that.
Mhm.
I could never donate my eggs to a close person because if it comes out looking like me or something, I couldn't be around.
Right.
Whereas Tyler did. He was around for holidays. And for me, that's how my godbrother is. He's at every holiday, everything with me. So he was around, he let them call it. They knew him as their bio dad. And it's very taboo and very odd to think about, but I don't think there's any rule book to how adoptions.
So he wasn't even a father figure. He told them who he was in relation to them. Oh, I see why people on TikTok have been dragging her, cursing her out. I get it now. I felt so bad for this woman. I felt so bad for this woman. I felt so bad. I was like, why are so many people calling this woman out of her name? I get it now. Completely get it. Trash. This, not her. I'm not calling any individual trash. What she's saying and doing is trash. That is wild. This is so sad. You are okay with a man just being an absent father, a deadbeat.
Sperm donation or egg donation should go.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that it was a mistake on his behalf to blur those lines so heavily because of the kids, not even just the woman, but the kids. And I know she wanted him to mainly be a part for the boy, mainly not even the girl. You very rarely see him with the girls here and there. It's mainly the boy. And Tyler stepped up and he was like, "Sure, I'll be their dad." He's like,
she wanted him to be there for the boy. Forget the girl. The girl don't need a father. Got it. Dumb, useless, weak, wannabe. Fine. Didn't Tyler just tell you? You literally just communicated to us that Tyler said that he, Louis Ponte, wanted to step in and be a father to the kids because of his own father and not having his father there in his life. So he wanted to make sure that his children did not go through what he went through. You just communicated that. I'm assuming you said that in order to make Tyler look good, then switch it here to say that she, Bree, the mother, wanted Tyler to be there for their son and not necessarily there for the daughter. Which one is it? If it's both, this is still trash. Oh my God, just useless. She thinks that if she talks over and be soft in her speech and just keeps going and keep talking, that we won't pick up on the fact that all she's doing is nothing. And he's not, oh, Tyler was like just there as a male figure. She's saying Tyler was there as the biological father. This was known. Which brings us to the question that you asked Tyler about, would these kids know what you look like? Him saying, oh, no, they don't, is an absolute lie because you said he was there for Christmas and holidays and he told these children that he was their bio father. Oh my God. I can't believe men have people out here looking like this. Like, how do you, at least take your L's in private, girl. Just go be quiet and take that L in private. Not everyone needs to know that this is degenerate.
picking up from daycare sometimes. Like, they're friends. They live in the same building.
Yeah.
They lived in the same building on top of that.
When you tell the story, I mean, the only thing that I think is probably surprised or hard for people to grasp, even me, it's just more like, kind of like, what a beautiful story. And as opposed to like being afraid to share it, why not be proud of what he stepped up and what he's doing, especially like Love is Blind. What a great story. Like, I mean, you would think that, even producers would love that about him if they knew about it. But yeah, why was he so insecure about that getting out?
So 100%. And for me, like when I specifically seen the boy, it like kind of broke my heart a little bit because he looks a lot like him. And I just like loved him immediately through a picture because I love Tyler so much. So it was very awkward for me to navigate as well. But this is the reason why. It came a point where Tyler, so a lot of the pictures, they're younger, like whatever. He was never, ever, ever around on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. There were times he wouldn't see them at all. Like he lived in Arlington. They've never been.
So he's a deadbeat dad. So he's a deadbeat dad. I thought you just explained how much he was around for the boys. I thought you just explained that he was around for the boys. Oh, but only for holidays, and he wasn't that much around, so him being gone shouldn't be a problem. I never wish karma on anyone. I have never wished negative karma on anyone. But let me just say, and I won't start now, I hope you get what you deserve. Not just Tyler. I hope Tyler does get what he deserves. But Ashley, I hope you get what you deserve. This is mean and evil and vindictive and selfish. This is terrible. It's terrible. I have every care that I had for her gone. 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 This is trash. I don't care how desperate and low self-esteem you might be. This is trash. You don't have the right to do this. You don't have this right. This is a man with his children, and I hope to God she didn't give an ultimatum. I pray that she was not the person, because this man is trash, has been trash apparently. So I don't think she has to make him or help him to be more trash, right? But I hope that she isn't okay with this, because she would prefer to have her fairy tale life where the man she's with does not have a children. And so saying, oh, here's why I'm thinking this way. If he is showing her pictures of his sons, right, and his children, and she's falling in love with them, I hope that she, even if he wasn't, I hope that she didn't say something like, as long as you don't have a relationship with them, or as long as it's really a donor situation and you don't engage with them. I really hope she never said something like that. I really hope. For my own sanity, because I promise you, this is where this would be the first woman that I drag publicly in this way. I promise you that. I don't care nothing about that. You cannot sit there as a woman and be okay with a man abandoning his responsibility. Like, the man doing it is trash, but you cannot sit there and be okay with that and defend it and come and provide cover for this disgusting, degenerate, absent father. You don't get that right. You don't have that right. Those children deserve their father. I don't care nothing about that woman who had the child, and I don't care nothing about Tyler. Those children deserve their father. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because the way my mind just interpreted that interaction and what she just explained has her in an even worse light.
Into his apartment, like things like that. He tried to back and back off at certain points, and I know that she wanted him present, and he was trying to navigate like how to be there for them and also be her friend as well. And like they were in the army together, like I said, like this is not just a stranger. And so I think it's hard for people to digest too, because in a normal sperm donor situation, I mean, you can pick and choose your involvement, but most of the time you aren't that involved unless it is like a sister or like a friend or whomever. Right. So he came to a point where whenever she would be in a new relationship, with a new woman, she wants to have a family with a woman. Yeah. And he would always be on the outside looking in. He has no rights. He can't say where they go to school. He can't say.
He has no rights. Them court documents that I saw circulating, unless you're telling me they are AI, it sounds like he has rights. That child support that he owes sounds like he is legally their father. Yo.
Anything. He can't discipline. He can't do anything. So to him, he's like, I pop up and I'm an uncle and I play with them and I kiki. I wear these dad t-shirts that the grandma.
Didn't you just say he told them he was their biological father? So what do you mean he pop up and he is like their uncle? He told them he was their biological father. Why would he do that? Why would them kids have his last name? At least two of them, I think. Why you were there? Why are you speaking so confidently like you were there? This man has been lying to you. Why are you speaking so confidently as if you were there? Oh, whatever coming for him, I hope she gets caught up in it too. I believe they both deserve each other, and they both, and you know how those people, there are some people who are like so desperately in love they'll do anything to keep a man, and there's a part of you that feels sorry for them. Don't. She is probably one of the mastermind behind this plan. She's also just as bad as that man too. She is. For you to put your face, because the thing is, Tyler can't do what she's doing. If he comes out and start talking, he's going to be dragged. They know that. She gets the protection of her ignorance while pretending she was there, speaking a matter of factly, like she was actually in the room. She was there with Tyler when he was reproducing. Drag. TikTok, do your worst. Drag. Drag. Ain't no more mercy. I have no sympathy. None. Zero sympathy. Don't care. That is wild.
Her mom is giving me, and put on this, face, but this is not my family. I'm on the outside looking in, and originally I did this to help someone else.
Yeah.
And then I put myself in this very uncomfortable situation. And that's why I tell people, I think he was a good guy that got too deep and didn't know what to do next. So when he finally decided to cut the situation off, of course it's awkward and it hurts him as well to know about the kids, but he felt like it was better to do it now than to wait any longer. And he's like, I want my own family. Like, I want my own things. Whereas she's probably like, well, damn, like you were around.
That is, I want my own family is wild. She has accepted in her mind that them kids aren't his family. That is wild. I want my own family. Girl, you are not his own family. You are part of his family, but them 3 kids are also part of his family. That is his family. What do you mean? How delusional? Oh my God. This is where you need someone who gonna do the full drag. Yeah, this is where I find my limits on YouTube, because I do actually have a life outside of YouTube, and I can't really go where I actually want to go. And yes, let me be very clear so that you can judge me the harshest that you want. I want to go there. I physically cannot. And even in real life, I wouldn't do this and curse. But I really wish I could. I really do. I wish cursing was a part of my because I need her drag. Because this ain't no make. This does not make sense. He wanted his own. That is his family. That is his family. You delusional person. You delusional person. That is his family. That is his family. Girl, what do you mean he was? Oh my God. She giving me a headache. He wanted his own family.
Why do this now? They just have 2 different perspectives, I would say. And I think that even Tyler's friends and parents, and again, it's kind of a little difficult for me to talk about this because I wasn't there.
Right.
I'm only going off of the things that I know and the things I'm trusting. And
I wasn't there. We can't tell. We can't tell you weren't there. You were talking. The way you were talking, it feels like you were there. It feels like not only were you there, you possessed Tyler's body, and you were the one engaging in the degenerate behavior. It felt like you were there. You know all the facts until it's time to ask question. I wasn't there. I don't know. Then why are you talking? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you out here talking? Why are you out here talking? Oh, I mean, I wasn't there. We can't tell. I don't know. We can't tell. Who are these people? Sorry, I'm annoyed. Who are these people? Who are these podcast people? Because why y'all sitting up there looking dumb? Like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Shut up. Ugh.
And if anything ever comes out differently, I'll do like a Risa Tisa and give you guys. But I'm just going.
Tyler.
I'm just yeah. And so they basically said the same thing. Like, yeah, he was around. He let him calm down, but like they were young, like whatever. And he just didn't feel like that.
He let them call him what now? What did he let them call him what? Because the drip came out and you swallowed it real quick. You're not delusional. You know exactly what you're doing. He let them call him what? Doctor? dentist, dog, duck. What was what was that? He let them call him what? Why did he let them call him? Someone said, dude. Yeah, when and you know she toxic. You know she toxic too, and she's with this foolishness. You know she's with this foolishness when she swallows the duh. He let them call him duh. He let them call him dad. That's what he did. And you try. You let them call him Dunkin' Donuts. So why you let them call him Daryl. Donator is natural. She's so toxic. She's so toxic. This lady actually is so toxic. Actually so toxic. Dunkin' Donut is nasty. Donator is nasty. Wait.
Gotta read Satisa and give you guys the scoop. But I'm
That's
just
for you,
going.
Tyler.
I'm just yeah. And so they basically said the same thing. Like, yeah, he was around. He let him calm down, but like they were young, like whatever. And
that is so weird. That is so weird. And this is where I know she's with the mess. She is with the mess. She is with the mess. She is. They deserve each other, and they deserve to be dragged.
And he just didn't feel like that was his family. And again, it looks bad, but it's, if you realize, it's always holidays, it's always an event, it's always something. Like he's around on the floor playing with them. It's never like an intimate moment with these kids. It is.
He's on the floor playing with them. There's never like an intimate moment with these kids. Idiot. When you said he didn't want them to be a single parent household, and so he stepped in to do what his father didn't do for him, how do you own that, engage with that, and then say there's never been an intimate moment with these kids? What do you mean there's never been an intimate? Are you dumb? Are you actually dumb? There's never been an intimate moment with these kids. That is his children, and no matter how delusional you want to be, how deluded you want to be, your man have children. You and whatever child you are going to have with him will not be his only children. That is not his only family. He has an entire family, and he's a deadbeat, disgusting person. You are also equally as disgusting as he is for allowing, yes, I said allowing. He's a grown man, but this woman decided to jump in front of him and provide cover. You have now allowed him to be with you, and you pretend that his children don't exist, and you're okay with him pretending his children don't exist. You're a degenerate too. You are.
He was always supposed to be an uncle, and even the ex-wife said it, and then this is the thing.
He's supposed to be an uncle. Then why did he tell him that their children about him being their father? Why? Why would he do that? You said he did it. You said a couple sentences ago, in all that mess that you probably confuse yourself because all you do is talk. Don't even think about what you're saying. You just talk. That's all you do. All you do up here, Ashley, is talk. You literally just said he told them he was their dad. But now he's just an uncle. How you do that? How you what?
But like, oh, he was sleeping with her. It's like, what are you trying? Like, what is going on?
Right.
There's so many
Yeah.
false narratives.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense, the context you provided.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Does it really? Oh my God, that makes a lot of sense. Does it make sense? Where your sperm donating babies? Where are they? That makes a lot of sense. He's sitting up there looking dumb. Oh my God, that makes a lot of.
I mean, just thinking about it as a new dad, I couldn't imagine what it'd be like. Here he is, he probably made a decision again out of the goodness of his heart. Maybe didn't even think it through. I don't think any.
Ain't no good in that man heart. And why are you talking? Why are you talking? What is happening on this set? I know these people were also trash too. And by the way, none of these people believe this. There is no way any of these people believe this. They want to maintain whatever relationship they have with the show to get the cast members on. That's all they're doing. None of them believe that. There we go. That makes sense. That makes sense. Does it, Brad, Cooper, Charlie? Does that make sense?
Any guy who gives away their sperm, they're probably not even thinking about
It's turning from
what's
a
going.
baby
Yeah,
to
like
a
what's
Men
going to
don't
happen.
help women in that way either.
Yeah,
No,
I think
like
I remember when I was in college, like I never did, but I remember being like, I need a few bucks, let's do that. And then I remember being, wait, like, but if I did that, like, but I, you kind of get close to thinking, what's the big deal?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden he becomes.
No. In college, you thought I want to do that because I want money. But if I did that, finish that thought. Finish that thought. Finish it. So Ashley can realize how dumb she is. Finish your thought. Don't stop halfway through your thought. Finish it. No. Finish it so she can realize how dumb she is.
This father, the situation happens, he's asked to be a part of it, but he, like you said, he has no.
And that's how you know the hosts are trash also. They know this is bad. They know it. And they're also censoring their language. The reason he didn't finish that statement is because he didn't want her husband to look like an idiot. Too late.
No rights.
No rights.
No rights to really put his input in. So what a weird.
What do you mean no rights? What do you mean no rights? He has input. I promise you he has rights. And he also has child support he owes.
What a weird situation to try to even navigate. I can imagine the challenge of like, what is.
It's not that weird. Pay their child support. Apparently you're not going to be a dad. Ashley, you pay the child support, girl. What was it, 30,000? Ashley, you pay the child support. Fine. You know what? Fine. He ain't got no kids. Let's pretend he don't got no kids. Ashley just pay his child support. And also he owes a bunch of other women money, apparently, allegedly. Pay that too. Fine.
What is my role here?
I will say she wrote me on Instagram and apologized to me and Tyler and said she's praying for us and she never meant for it to go this way. And she won't say too much on this forum.
Didn't she make a public statement?
Yeah.
She made a public statement and then deleted everything.
It was at the public statement that was like saying how she doesn't know why Tyler is
And then
talking
posted
about
a bunch of photos of him with the kids.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's that one. Yep. But she also wrote me and apologized and said that like it's completely understandable if I never want to respond. And she sure my world is crazy right now. She never intentionally meant to cause me any pain. Like she won't say too much in this message, but yeah. And so I'm like, well, you're kind of causing it too, because you came out there and did that. But I did welcome the message. I told her I'm surprised, but I welcome this.
Yeah.
Because regardless if we never talk to you or the kids again, like.
What do you mean? Regardless, if we never talk to you or the kids again? Girl, Ashley, what does that mean? Ashley, girl. Ashley, so please tell me women aren't out here telling men it's okay if they never see their children again. Please tell me that's not a thing that is happening. Please, y'all tell me that there aren't women out here telling men it's okay if you never see them children again. Please tell me that's not a thing that is happening. This sounds crazy. Level of single mom play. This sounds crazy. This is crazy. This is nonsense. This is crazy. What do you mean if we never read the message? I want to hear that apology. Yep. I want to hear that. I know for a fact that woman probably said something like, hey, I'm sorry this is getting out of control. Just give me my money. That woman probably like, I'm sorry this is getting out of control. Just give me my money. That is insane. That is some low frequency foolishness right there. This is the lowest of the low. She opened up by saying, oh, I didn't want to get on some ratchet TV show. Girl, you are the ratchet TV show. You are the ratchet TV show. A culture, mind you, where women are okay, because apparently men just don't have self-control. But if you are a woman and you're out there talking about, oh, he might not care about them kids, but he care about me, trash. Just as bad.
It's still a thing. And so I wouldn't mind having a sit down with you. Like, I want to know what the motive is here. Like, even his mom, like when I talked to her, she's like, it is exactly what he's saying. And it used to be so uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
You know, because she posts all her.
I don't believe that woman says. Tyler's mom, don't believe nothing she said. Separately, why do you keep saying she's doing this to you all? Why? Tyler owes the money. Tyler owes child support. You want her to just be quiet?
Her grandkids. And so it's like, what do I do? She's seen them maybe twice.
Wow.
You know, they don't know her in the way that people are trying. She's reposting pictures and things like that. I think that, again, if you have met Tyler.
Okay, so Tyler's mom is posting her children and they did meet the grandmother, but you were trying to diminish just by saying they just meet them a couple times. Ashley, girl. If the idea of karma is real, I feel real bad for you. Ain't no way. This is so bad.
For 5 minutes. This is the thing that really gets me is the assassination of his character. And I'm not here to defend him. I have.
You're not here to what? Your whole platform right now is defending him. You are literally defending him. I'm not here to defend him. Every word you've uttered is in defense of your degenerate husband, who don't even like you. Oh, that's the first thing I opened with. How you gonna owe child support for I
have to say this. If you meet him for 5 minutes.
Not only that, then you had two more.
Minutes, you would see how genuine he is. He's a people pleaser, and I hate that about him.
I mean, we had him on Zoom.
Really
I could tell through the Zoom.
And it's not a good trait to me because you will sacrifice yourself for other people, and that's why he's hurt and shocked by what the mom is doing.
Right.
Did he have any conversations with her post filming?
No. So when he decided to cut ties, she was upset.
So before he.
There are a ton of messages between Tyler and Bree, the mother of his children, that while they're filming after, like, the fact is that this lady, Ashley, just don't care. Just making stuff up. To be fair, I don't know if these people on the podcast had the information we now have. Right? And so while I do find them boring and useless, I can't drag them too much because I don't know what information they had, because this was filmed before the reunion came out. That's why she's not wearing her ring.
He went in and filmed Love is Blind. He had cut ties with her.
100%.
I didn't realize that.
100%. And he had a conversation.
He had not cut ties with her 100%. He was still texting her, talking about how you are not what he usually go for. Laughing face, crying face emoji, but you are nice. He said you weren't physically what he go for, but you are nice. He did. That don't sound like he was cutting ties. That sound like he was dragging you. To be out here defending a man dragging you is wild.
With her, I don't know the exact time frame, let's say a year or two before, when he started slowing down and coming around, and basically said something along the lines of,
oh, he is a people pleaser. He is a people pleaser. Ashley does not want to think about how he pleases people, but he's definitely that. He is definitely that.
I just don't have a connection with these kids. And she's hurt because she's like, well, why? Why don't you? Because they're still kind of your kids. Like, why don't you have a connection? He's like, this is your family. And this is what I originally signed up for. I know I stepped in to try to help. I know I said I'd be there for the twins. You were by yourself. And twins made it worse, And so biologically, these are still his kids. So he feels a certain way. But he's like, I can't do this. And she's like, why? She was disappointed. And I can see, why she was disappointed as well. But he's like,
What do you mean you can't do this for your children? Ashley girl, go to church, go to seminary, go do something, but please don't play in my face. Do not play. Oh my God, he just can't do it. Can't do what? Raise his children, provide for his children. What do you mean he just can't do it? Did you even ask him how these children came about for real, for real? Let him tell you how he donated. The twins made it worse. Of course, there's more children, there's more mouths to feed. He's still their father, and he needs to take care of his responsibility. You sitting there defending him not talking means you need to be dragged. You do need to be dragged. You need to be dragged continuously and consistently online. Every time you speak, you should be dragged. Every single time. That is weird. You're a weirdo. That is wild. I do not like people like this. I hate people like this. Hate with an H-A-T-E. I hate people like this. This is selfish. It is self-serving, and it actually does not work in your benefit, because if something goes wrong, a man that can turn his back on his children can definitely turn his back on you, and if you have any children, on them children too. The fact that you don't see this is weird. You cannot be that caught up in your own ego to realize how this is going to backfire.
Just don't want to have any connection with you or them, because if I talk to you, although you've been my long-term friend, there's no way I wouldn't be able to not talk to the kids. And I think it's best if I remove myself.
Did she only want him involved once her ex-wife left?
I think he was involved around, like even the ex-wife kind of said, like he was around, but kind of in like an uncle capacity. And I don't think that, she wanted him around as much. Like even when she got divorced, she tried to find.
Why? Because the ex-wife came out and told us why. The fact that you're speaking on behalf of the ex-wife is wild. When Jesse warned them, interviewed the ex-wife, and the ex-wife talked about cheating. And that the first child was probably birthed naturally too. Conceived, naturally. All right, girl. You're just gonna ignore everything to be delusional. I'm glad the internet is giving you this work. They refuse to make you slip away in la la land. No. I actually need to read the comments. Drag everyone in support of her. Just go in the comments and start dragging people who support her for this foolishness.
Fight for custody, and that's when Tyler went for the sperm donor mom's side, and basically was like against her to make sure that that woman could keep all of her kids and that the ex-wife couldn't take the kids. I think she wanted him in a bigger capacity once she left. I'll say that. It's not that he wasn't around before that, he was. Okay. But she wanted him around in a bigger capacity because now she's by herself, which sucks. And now she's engaged and with a whole other woman.
So it's time.
So there's that.
So
they scrubbed that Instagram too. So
okay, she's engaged with another woman. Fine. So you think he no longer, because she's engaged, you think he doesn't owe child support anymore? Is that your calculus, Ashley? Oh, she's also engaged with another woman. What, you thought that was a trump card? Who you think you're fighting, girl? Who you think you're beating in this battle? She's also engaged again to another woman. And your man's still degenerate, your man's still a baby father, your man still owes child support, your man still was evicted, your man is still a dusty, your man still owe a bunch of women, your man is still useless, your man's still jobless,
So they're not the only ones scrubbing.
So right now, I mean, before we got into his ex, well, not even his ex, his ex-friend, I can now understand why.
No, you are right. You are right. Before we get into his ex. To be fair, if I was a lesbian woman, Brie, I would have taken that L in private. I would have just taken that L in private because what I'm not about to do is have the other lesbian think I'm not a real. You would not hear from me. You would not.
Tyler did what he did, how you responded, and even why the show, the way it's aired, didn't do you guys any favors because it looks like he is not being forthcoming. Like we're still watching it now, kind of like, what is the truth?
Yeah.
You know, on that aspect, I could appreciate why even her is also confused by how it's aired. But what I am confused about is that it seems like you guys have had some interactions and she knows. Does she know why? If she got the heads up in terms of like what she might expect, once you guys talked about it, how much did Tyler anticipate this being a topic that's aired?
So a topic that's aired on the show?
Yeah. Because once it was aired, you would think that she would respond to it.
So ironically, we knew it would be mentioned, but I always knew this would be a big thing once it aired. Even if he was just a regular sperm donor, like I knew, and it wasn't like blurred lines, I knew it would be a big thing because humanity has trouble comprehending and understanding anything taboo or out of their norm. Yeah. So I was the one saying, she's coming. I guarantee you when he was like, she would never do that. She would never do that. So there was no conversation with her or anything. Like because I was like, maybe reach out. I know that y'all aren't in the best terms, and maybe reach out to say, hey, this is coming out. So like we couldn't even do that.
Who do you think put it out?
What? So y'all decided y'all want to protect the children and y'all gonna put this out there and y'all did not even give this woman a courtesy call? Y'all literally did not even think, you know what? Because this woman and these children that we care so much about, they're going to be public facing now based on decisions my degenerate husband to be is making. You decided, you know what, we shouldn't call them, shouldn't give them a heads up, shouldn't tell them that this is coming out, let them know, prepare them for the onslaught of people who are going to be in their business. No, just talk. Because you are self-centered. You are self-centered. And these podcast people might be afraid of you. I promise you the internet is not. I promise you the internet is not. Ain't nobody afraid of you or Tyler. I think they should be dragged. Yep. Do your worst. That is disgusting. The fact that you are speaking down on this woman who you don't know, who seemed to be reaching out to you in some way to say, hey, let's try to fix this. The fact that you don't care is wild to me. Talking about if we don't see them, all the kids again. What is this we? That is that man's child. If you don't want to see them, you have that right. He doesn't have that right. He actually owes child support. Ew. I hope one day you wake up and you see how disgusting you have been online. Ashley. At least Tyler knows how to shut up. The fact that you are out here doing all of this is wild. Stop talking, take your L and disappear.
for the world to see? Because it came from
The grandma.
somewhere. You think it was?
No, it did. She
Oh,
came
you
up
know.
with the whole TikTok of all the pictures of Tyler. And I, again, am repeating what I know. The grandma is like,
How you know this? You're repeating what you were told. You're repeating what you heard. You're not repeating what you know. You know nothing. Jon Snow. You know nothing. You know nothing. Stop doing that. You don't know anything. You actually shouldn't even be talking about this. This is not your place. It is not your place to be talking about this man and his children. It is not. You need to learn that he needs to take responsibility. You need to learn that he needs to take responsibility. And if you don't want him to take responsibility, you need to stop talking. This is not your burden. This is not for you to be carrying on your back. This is not yours. It is his. I'm speaking you know nothing.
you'll never see pictures of, I'll say it this way, you'll never see pictures of her daughter with her wife or with her LGBTQIA partner, ever. So that's where the dad t-shirts and dad's son come at play. And this is what I've seen my firsthand, and this is what I've heard from people who know both parties, right? Because they were in the army, so they
if this is what you heard from people, you don't know this woman, you've never met this woman, where is this firsthand? What do you know firsthand? What do you... Someone said she reeks of homophobia. She does, but she's a Christian girl, so I wouldn't expect anything less. I wouldn't expect anything less. She does reek of homophobia. It's like seeping through her. Oh, she's married to she's engaged to a woman, and you're engaged to a trash, disgusting, useless, weak A nothing A B word of a man. So what? What about it? Oh, they're married.
They have mutual army friends. She never liked that about.
She didn't accept that about her daughter. It doesn't seem like.
So now there are videos like, that's your dad. You know who that is? You know who you're playing with? That's your dad. Right?
So grandma's projecting.
And
a narrative that
I
she
genuinely
wants to
feel
live.
like, and if Bri ever sees this, like, I think that's why the sperm donor mom reached out to me and apologized, because I think she's in an uncomfortable situation of feeling like people are adding pressure on her to be this person that I don't think she is.
Right.
If Tyler's a bad guy, why would you want to do it again? You know, why?
Because he wasn't a bad guy then. He showed who he was now. Like, what do you mean? He literally lied to you. This man literally lied to you about having children, then lied to you about whether they knew him. This man is a liar.
That'd be a mistake. It's like you sleep with a guy once and it's a mistake. You don't, I mean, maybe sometimes you go back, but
a kid is a whole different thing.
Yeah, you try not to make that same mistake.
What else is she saying about him?
Who? The sperm donor mom?
Yeah, sperm donor mom. Yeah, what's
sperm donor mom?
I don't know. It was just that one thing, and then she reached out and she apologized, and Tyler was honestly.
So Tyler just out here having a bunch of children to give to these women. Tyler just the generous queen. Ask Miss Ellen. Tyler just like, oh, you have one child with me. Let's just have another. Oh, it's two. That's what's happening. That's how you rationalize it. He's just out here giving his friend a bunch of children. I bet she hasn't asked about how these sperm donors work. How these donations work.
That was the hardest part, is just seeing Tyler struggle during a time that should have been just about our love story. So I think once she apologized.
What do you mean just about our love story? That's his children. She's so selfish. It's so funny. It's so funny because every time she speaks, you get a glimpse into like the really selfish, terrible person that she is. This should have been about me and Tyler and our love story. He has children. Ain't no love story where there are children involved, where the children get excluded. You should have them children bringing down the flowers and the ring down the aisle instead of having them weird acrobatic people dipping it and doing it. The fact that she's like, oh, it should have just been about us. The fact that she thinks, oh, it should have been. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. She thought that was cool.
She kind of felt bad and like she seemed that, and I said, like, yes, getting beat up on social media is never fun, is what I told her.
So they've both apologized, the grandma and
No,
Fry?
no, just her. She apologized to me only, not even Tyler.
Grandma's not apologizing.
No, grandma's not going to apologize.
Is grandma still posting?
No, she apparently made her page private, and because Tyler had a really, really bad day, and it was a really, really hard time. And I know that Tyler reached out to Brian that second from the dog's page because he's blocked.
Wait, who's this again?
Our dog's page. So our dog Kobe has an Instagram page.
Okay.
Tyler reached out to the sperm donor mom on the dog page and basically was like, "Look, like, what are you doing? Like, stop!
Stop calling this woman a sperm donor mom." Sorry, that ain't right. That ain't right. She keep referencing this woman as like a sperm donor mom. I'm laughing because that's probably what she gonna be called in a minute. So you were saying this woman, Tyler reached out to her after a bad day, and she took down everything. She can be too LGBTQ phobic. Her husband medically transitioned from a father to a sperm donor. Period. She might be homophobic, but her man sure ain't. She might be homophobic, but her man is definitely willing to impregnate.
This." And I guess she was concerned with like him being attacked, and then she deleted everything, which was appreciative, but at the same time, everyone already has it.
It's already out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's social media, like it's 5 seconds, and
Grandma intentionally did exactly what Tyler was trying to prevent from happening, which is like you're exposing your kids, you're exposing your daughter, you're making this entire thing about yourself, and you're not gonna have to deal with any of the repercussions of it.
Nope, none, and it's cloudy. The thing about Tyler too that he kept saying that I kind of was like, okay, actually show a little sympathy, even though I was pissed, is like he's like, I've done enough. Like I've already like. Eventually the kids will probably forget me, but like, I don't want to do anything else to this family. Yeah. So like, I don't want to really talk about this, Ashley, but I will because I want you. But like, and I don't want you to quit this experiment. But at the same time, I don't want to go into deep. So that's why I also kind of am sitting.
Sorry, I've hit the part of my drink where everything is just funny to me. So apologies. I know this is serious. But him saying he done with this family, him done with his, the fact that you thought you felt bad for this man because he's like, look, I can't provide, I don't want to be there for my children anymore is wild. So you're going to leave your family just when you're about to go on a show.
Sitting there and contemplating and thinking as I'm talking in those scenes that you see, because I don't know what I'm allowed to say. And the very thing that we tried to avoid happened. I mean, the kid's birth certificate is online. It's sick. So the very people who are creating TikToks with their false journalism, TikTok, I just got a TikTok for the first time and I wish I never had it.
No, it's people.
It's a whole new world.
People spread rumors and they're like, it's called journalism.
It's law, right? It's law now because someone sent you a screenshot with the contact name Tyler. I can do that right now. I could tell my God, Kobe, text me, right? Text me some stuff right now so I can make it look like, and put their contact name. Show me the number, blur it out, right? So that's that. And people take the TikTok journalism and run with it. Now people are writing me like, girl, have you seen? Who do you think has a better view on what the hell is going on? You or me? Ooh. This is a year later. Is a year later. Yeah. And frankly, no matter what he came with, when I said I do to all of it. Right.
Then go collect your 3 kids. Step kids. Go collect your kids. You said, when I said yes to Tyler, I said yes to all of it. Then pay the $30,000, allegedly. Pay it. What do you mean? Pay. Yo, Keely gave us a bop. Keely said, Keely, is it Keely Williams? She says, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
That's what marriage is. And we're in a generation where unconditional love is not a thing. And there are conditions with people. And to me, when they haven't found their person, and it shows.
Yeah, I get it.
I think people want to paint him to be this stereotypical man who's like a piece of shit.
Mhm.
And it's like, sorry, that's just not who he is today.
And she knows it.
And
They know it,
unfortunately,
yeah.
a lot of the people who watch the show aren't watching from a lens of rooting for love.
Absolutely not.
They're watching through the lens of every fucking person's like my ex.
Yep.
And they're all pieces of shit, whoever these people are. And so, yes, it's a little bit of that.
Even when they loved us, remember that moment? When they loved us, like we still have like 50% that love us, but like, you know, when they loved us and they were like, oh, Ashley and Tyler for like OG 90s love and early 2000s, I'm kicking my feet on the wall, like, all of that, they still were like, something's wrong with them. We don't
Okay, so you knew people were loving you all, and you don't know why the switch happened. You think it's just because of hating. People are like, oh, a couple goals, love, blah, blah, blah. They loved you all. And you just think that people, what? Just turned on you for no reason because they were jealous? People cared for you. People cared about you. People actually wanted to protect you and give you information about the truth. And you decided that a man with a man is a man. A man with a man is a man. In her mind, she got a man, and that's all that matters.
gonna find it.
Well, you know,
It's too good to be true, you know?
and that, I mean, I'm a little bit like that. I mean, the too good to be true stuff, the praying every night, you know, when I see stuff like that, I'm like,
And also, that was me. Tyler is the kind of person, I also want to say that I am the one, not that Tyler doesn't have his own faith, but I am the one
you
with,
led that.
I led it. And we talked about it in the pause, it wasn't shown, but like about how important my faith is with me. He was like, he doesn't know, you know, how to pray sometimes. And I was like, there's no right way to pray. You just have to start. And so that's why it looks like we're doing it so much, because I was trying to get him to feel comfortable around me and to be intimate in that way.
Everything that looks like a red flag to everyone else is her fault. He's perfect, and she's the reason why he did anything bad while he was on the show. Weird. You're a weirdo. I am sorry. Is that me? To me, she's weird. So I'm not gonna call her a weirdo, but this is weird. I mean, I already did, but that was mean.
That was him doing something that he knew was important to you,
100%.
and then he was taking the initiative as a okay.
And which
see,
makes so much more
way more
sense.
context, yeah.
100%.
Because it kind of comes across potentially
Mhm.
as performative because
Right.
you never really know.
Yes. No, sir. Continue. Put your foot down. He comes off performative. The performance is weak and useless. Jumping out of plane, talking about leap of faith, y'all useless. He is performative. You are right. It comes off a little performative. No, actually say it with your chest, your full chest. Your man comes off performative. How do you not see it? Oh, it's your fault. I told him I cared about praying.
Early on, when you see something early on that may be too good to be true, we just wonder if it is.
Yeah, one of his friends, Oliver, after the wedding, came up to me and said something along the lines of, I wanted to say thank you. This was a beautiful wedding, beautiful reception. He was like, I just wanted to say also thank you for helping lead Tyler, you know, back to God. And like, you know, that was always important to me as a friend. He was in the Army as well. And he was like, me and Tyler would have conversations about that. But he, you know, I don't know if he was comfortable enough
As
speaking the way
receptive?
he does now. And so I was like, oh, that was a compliment to me. And I love that he said that. So yeah.
With big wireless providers, what is cooling weather in?
I want to
She led him back to God. That man ain't found no God. You want to know what women don't understand? I'm sorry, I'm speaking to the general Christian community. I am so sorry about this. One of the easiest places to manipulate women is in the church. It is. A lot of men are very willing to pretend like they are Christians if that will get you, because usually Christians or women are okay with the whole idea of submission and serving. If you don't find a man who is already Christian, right? And you find a toxic man out there and this man is willing to be Christian, be careful. I'm not saying it's wrong, lead them back to the faith. I'm here for it. Let the Lord lead the women to lead the men back to the faith. I know that's not how the Bible says it, but period. Lead those men back to the church. But be very careful. Be very careful, because the word of God has been used to manipulate women for a while now. For a while. For a while. These men will pray with you while they're cheating on you. These men will have their children out in the world, 3 children with a lesbian couple, and come in, pretend that they are God-fearing men, and be with you, marry you, and not take care of their children. Forget the part about being an infidel when you can't provide or take care for your children. Forget the part. Let me leave that alone. Talking about she led him back to God. Lead yourself back to Jesus. Try that. Try showing some compassion for another woman. These men will preach at you while sleeping with the men in the church. Like, you want to know something I've never seen in real life? I probably should never say this. I probably shouldn't say this, but let me take a sip and say it. Come close. Let me whisper it in your ear. I have never, ever, 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 ever met in real life a straight pastor. I've never met a straight pastor. Every single pastor I've met has been married, but I never met a straight pastor. On that note, we move.
I'm going to jump a little bit to your relationship with your father.
I'm so happy to talk about this.
You kind of open up on wedding day when you're talking to your grandma and you're talking to your mom and you're saying, like, I took certain things from your relationships, and then there's certain things that I was like, I absolutely don't want this for my relationship. What was your relationship like with your dad growing up? Was he around?
So my father was married to my mom from age 1, like baby, until 10. They got divorced when I was 10.
Okay.
And my father, as he's gone viral for his suaveness, yes, he has. It's all hey daddy Usher song is going viral with it, and it makes you want to throw up.
Yes.
I can see it. He's a charming guy.
Yeah, definitely charming. He was a woman, type of guy. Yeah, so
So I've been learning to mix drinks, and I started mixing something. I'm not going to say what it is. I failed, but instead of throwing it away, I just started adding more alcohol to it, and then lemon juice. It's good, but it is strong. But I've never met one. I haven't. Every time I meet a pastor, I hear a story about this or that. Every single time. Unless I met someone who is a pastor and I didn't know they were a pastor.
ironically, in 2021, I found out I had 2 brothers that I didn't know about that he had during the time period that he was married to my mom. And we already knew about one of them, but we didn't know about these 2. Ironically, one of them went to high school with me.
Oh.
The same one that went to high school with me lived in my neighborhood, and his brother was one of my really good friends. So he wrote me on Instagram in 2021 and was telling me, and I was like, this guy's trying to talk to me from high school. And then I open it and it's a voice note of like, I did my ancestry and your dad's my dad. And I'm like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I have enough loved ones in my life. I don't need any more. Click, and I felt bad, but I just.
Trash. Now, let me be very clear. At my big age, if my dad randomly had children out there who came in with like, hey, Themis, I'm your whatever, I'm not going to be like, oh, click, whatever. But I don't know that I would be open to a relationship, right? Like I'm not sure, but I would want to hear. I would want to hear. I would want to hear. Now I would not. I don't think. And this might be the bad part. I don't know that I would want to be open to like a relationship. No. But this like, oh, I already have enough love in my life. Click is wild. You don't even know if this person just wanted to talk to you about their experience. You don't know what this person want. Weird. Drag your dusty daddy for going. I don't know. Why do people hate on the wrong people? Like why do people have like these like misplaced anger and like I feel like it's so easy. Like if I'm dating someone and some random person took that person and cheated with that person, I would never be mad at the random person out there. If my dad had a child, that child is innocent. I don't know what to do with that child. The person I'm going to drag is my dad. It's not that difficult. Period. She comes off very nasty and standoffish and better and holier than thou. The problem is, I'm here for that. I'm here for the Diddy. Like I'm actually here. An AKA. I love an AKA. Like I am here for an AKA. I'm sorry, I'm dragging a whole organization. I actually do love the AKAs. But I love it. Like I'm better than thou. Like girl, don't talk to me. I'm above this. You have to actually be above it. You actually have to be above it. You can't just pretend that you're above it while making dusty decisions in your mate and defending the dusty decisions you've made. Absolutely not. You're gonna be dragged at every single turn.
Just didn't. I'm 30. Like, I don't need this. So then he wrote me again, and then his brother called me, who I knew from high school, and he was like, "You might as well give him a chance because he's never going to stop." And boy, am I glad that I did because I met them and we hit it off immediately. And I told them one day, like I think like the second time we hung out, I was like, "Fuck, I wish you guys weren't cool," because I really didn't want to do this, but we ended up we're super close now. Ironically, I've only known them since 2021.
Wow.
So my dad, where everyone's like, "Oh, your dad! I can't wait till her dad gets on Tyler." My dad don't have no room to talk about anything. So my dad and I's relationship.
So you married your dad. You go, my dad has no room to talk about Tyler because they're the exact same. And you know this and you're fine. She never said that, but that's where I'm going with it. My dad has no room to talk about Tyler. Yeah, that's fine. But you're okay with your children having no connection the way that you didn't have connection to your half siblings. You're okay with that. Oh, so you just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna divide. I'm gonna go find my daddy.
It was strained for years and years and years. And it took probably the last 5 years for us to get close. And I'll tell you why. I've learned along my growth journey that you just have to meet people where they're at. Some people would die that way. My grandpa died that way. When you meet people where they're at and you accept people for who they are, you have a better relationship with them because you're not trying to change them into the image that.
Do not meet people where they are. If the person is dusty, disgusting, and degenerate, you do not have to meet them where they are to have a good relationship with them. Don't have a good relationship with them. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like she reads the self-help books and she picks pieces out of them without context and she comes on here to try to preach. Don't preach to us, preach to yourself and your degenerate husband. We don't care. You are literally out here being a clown in the circus and everyone is laughing at you because of how useless all your advice to us is when you need help yourself. Don't come out here lecturing, oh, you got to meet people where they. No, we don't. You got to meet someone where they at. You decided to marry a man who's been evicted, 3 children, child support, and owes a bunch of money to a bunch of people and no job. That is you. You need to meet your man where he's at, not us. We don't got them problems. You do. And now we're watching. This is now entertainment. I'm not sitting here. I don't care about giving you advice. I don't care about changing your mind. I think you're exactly who you are and who you have. Tyler is who you need to have. Yeah, that's how you should. That's you. That's you. This is trash TV. You know how you started, Ashley, by saying, "Oh, I didn't want to go on a ghetto show." You are. That is too far. But the baby mama drama and all of that, you are that.
That you want them to be.
Right.
And I used to always want the dad on the TVs. Like I used to want that so bad. And then I realized that's just not my story. And so my dad is the guy who owns yachts and restaurants and we drink for free and I bring my friends and we party.
Yeah.
And it sounds
That
like your
was, I mean,
mom's
not
awesome.
awful.
My mom's great. My mom's my confidant. My mom's my best friend. My mom is my reason. You know, she is, wow, I get emotional about my mom, but like, she is everything to me. And whenever I say like I have a role model, it's my mom. So yeah.
Why?
So she accepts her dad not being there. She don't care nothing about that because now he has yachts or whatever, and she just brings her friends and drinks for free. All right. So she's not healed. She's not developed. She's not working on a relationship. She's using her father for the access he has to whatever he has access to. Got it. The kind of delusion here is one that is not about to change. It is not. It is not about to change. This person thinks that their life is perfect and they refuse to accept anything about their reality that does not fall in alignment with the fact that their life is perfect. That's it. That's it. And she doesn't mind. I think she actually does not mind taking care of the man as long as he fits whatever image she has of the perfect family. And he can do that if she ignores the rest of his family. Yeah.
Is it your mom?
She was just really, really strong. She had my brother at 18 and his dad wanted nothing to do with him. So she raised me and my brother, but like she raised me to be very bougie. And I'm like, how did you do that? Like I can barely like, take care of myself, but you had me in everything. You never missed a beat. Like, you anything I ever wanted, I had, and I don't know how she did it. She always says the Lord, but I don't know how she did it. And she is like Superwoman to me.
No one raised you to be bougie. You're attempting to be bougie. And let me be very clear. You are not. You are not. You are not bougie. You're grimy. This is nasty. This is not, oh, I'm just one of those really wealthy girl who I'm just going to. No, you're mean. You're a terrible person. That's what you are. You're a very bad person. You're a very, very bad person. I wonder if her mother knew about the other kid. The thing is, the funny part is she is attempting to portray this idea of the idyllic life and that she's just above it all. She's like, oh, I am bougie. The idea that I am bougie and snotty, whatever. The idea is what she wants to be. And that's what she's attempting to do. You're not doing it. You look delusional. You can't be like impoverished at Yeah, that don't make sense. Yeah, that don't make sense. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, she thinks she's better than everyone else and not realizing that people are like sympathizing with her and feeling bad for her. This is not bougie. This is not bougie. This is not bourgeois. This is very ghetto. This is extremely ghetto. You trying to fake the fact that she's saying she's bougie and she was raised to be bougie, to me feels now like everything she's doing is inauthentic. The way she talks, the way she presents, what she does, the fact that we don't know if she's hot or cold because she has that sweater dropping off of her, like all of it is weird. All of it is weird now. The fact that she is aspiring to be bougie is weird. No one aspired to be that. Like, what's that basketball, football, love, and hip hop? Jennifer. She's aspiring to be Jennifer. Probably. The mom probably know about it.
My brother has like 5 degrees. He has a doctorate. Like we beat the stereotype, right, of being raised by a single mom. And so that's why I sympathize with Tyler and why he handled that the way as well. Because I know what that's like. And my mom never let us really see her cry. Like, she always says like I was her motivation. I was really wise at a young age. They call me an old young lady. And my mom, that's why I wanted to make sure at my wedding that she was honored and she was the
You were really wise at a young age, so I'm guessing that wisdom just left you when you grew up. See, this is the problem with being wise at a young age. You don't want to be wise at a young age. You want to make mistakes at a young age and be wise as you get older. Because then you are wise at a young age and then you do things like this when you're you do things like this and then you come online talking about you were raised to be bougie. No wise person is going to sit there and say, I was raised to be bougie, right? So the fact that you are calling yourself, you're giving yourself that moniker, you are deciding that you are bougie. Ain't nobody believe that but you, girl. Hey, there is no one in this world that looked at you. The people probably thought you were better than other people based on how you talk down to people, but no one looked at you like, oh, that's a classy woman right there. No, because you decided to date and marry a man with 3 kids who's been evicted, who owes child support. Like that gonna bring down the whole kingdom, girl. The whole kingdom. The whole kingdom is just trash right now. Talking about I was wise as a child, and that's where you started and stopped being wise. The wisdom came and went as in childhood. That's it. That's all.
the one to give me away to Tyler. She did the heavy lifting. While my dad and I have a great relationship now and we have fun, she's my person and she is the one who did it all.
That was a
Yes.
great moment when you walked down the aisle. Your mom was definitely like, I got it
Yeah.
from here.
What? Let us know. You back in the odds now. She thought she beat the odds because she back in the odds. That ain't right. That ain't right. Bougie with a dusty husband is nasty work. Bougie while you have to provide for yourself and your husband is nasty work. The odds are not in her favor. The odds, she did not beat the odds. The odds weren't in her favor. The odds beat her. You now are a statistic.
Thank you so
Like-
much. Yeah.
It was pretty
And I felt
iconic.
bad when I was kind of like, my dad's lucky to be here. It's a bitchy moment, but it also is kind of like for real though.
Yeah,
but for real
honest.
I
though.
mean, it makes a lot of
You
sense
know?
given the context. I don't even know if you remember because we just watched the wedding, but
Even that was toxic. Even that was toxic. Like, why are you telling your dad, oh, dad, you're lucky to be here? Just invite him or don't invite him. After you've invited him, don't just look at him and verbally announce to him that he's lucky to be here. He knows he's lucky to be here. When he walks you half the way and your mom took you the other half. Like, we get it. And I did appreciate that. But you don't have to tell, just toxic. That's toxic. People who have to perform this way they're just annoying to me. You know those people like you walk in the party with and they're like, "Where is my section? Go get out of my face because now we're not friends." Like, why are you being loud? Why are you being loud? I remember. Should I tell this story? No, because I don't dislike this person. I would never go out with. I won't be. I won't be specific. I won't be specific. I shouldn't drink. I should not drink when I come out here. Let me just summarize it because I already started. You know those people like you go out with and they walk in and announce themselves and they're just like, yes and yes. There's this girl. No. So in Jamaica, we don't have an American accent, right? And so if you come to America with me around the same time as me, it feels weird that you're going to have this Californian Valley Girl accent. That is wild to me. But I never said nothing about it. I'm like, you know, You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, when you come to America, if you can change your accent, you do get to pick whatever accent you want. I would change my accent too if I could. So like, fine, whatever. So I've never had a problem with her. She can, oh my God, females, yeah, let's do it. Like, girl, we were both in Jamaica. We literally. Yeah, I'm in New York. Oh, I'm where she lives. Right? No, it's not assimilation because she was not in California. She is not in California. She is not in California. Let me be very clear. But where she is, let's say she's in Atlanta. It's not Atlanta, but let's say she's in Atlanta. She comes in, she's like, she picks me up at the airport, right? Grateful, very grateful. They're like, yes, we're gonna have some fun. Like, yeah, I'm gonna show you all around. No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Let me leave that alone. Cause like I just don't like it. I don't like the extra energy and like you have to be known and everyone needs to know that you are bougie and you can't eat here and you can't eat there and you're better than this and you're better than that. It's like, girl, just calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. We're both in undergrad. We broke college students. We both broke college students. The fact that you're out here pretending like you don't eat this and you don't eat that, girl. We were just in Jamaica. I'm done. I'm not going to tell the full story. Because if she ever sees this, she gonna be mad because she gonna know who I'm talking. She know. I told her. I've told her many a time she fake. She's still my friend, but she's still fake.
Right before you walked down the aisle, your dad was lifting a little bit.
About the sun and the moon and
You seemed a little annoyed.
I was.
Okay.
I was. Sorry, Dad. I was so confused on I'm like, I'm about to walk out here.
Like, are you performing?
Yeah, he's
something?
like, he's talking about rain
The
and
cameras
clouds.
got to him.
You know, and then I think he was just overwhelmed by seeing me too. And
Sure.
you know what I really think? I don't think he ever thought he would be there. And so he was overwhelmed by seeing me in that moment and seeing that I was an adult. He probably still views me as a kid.
Your story resonates so much with like the way that I grew up.
I'm not like you, Cargo Jamaican. If she would come on, I would like for y'all to talk to her because she's like, y'all. No, it's just like a little weird thing. Like she'll say something like, this has never happened, but like if we're walking and I'm like, oh, let me grab some water from this person and like buy a bottled water. She's like, oh my God, is that not Voss? Oh my, are you drinking? You're drink. Oh, so that's not Voss. Like that's. She's so annoying. She's so annoying. Like she stresses me out because every time we go out, there's a thing in my head that someone is going to attack her. Like, and she doesn't do it quietly because she's doing it for attention. And she doesn't do it quietly and she's not whispering. She's very, like, loudly talking and insulting someone. And I'm like, I am sorry. I apologize. I'm so sorry. And like, why are you apologizing? Like, they can get you the water. Like, oh my God. Like, what are you doing? Sorry. It's a thing. It's a thing. That's the vibe she gives me.
I had a very absent father who, you know, now it's me who puts in the effort to have him a part of my life. And it's very much like me and my siblings have all agreed he's not the dad role. He doesn't know how to play the dad role. But once you accept that he just doesn't have the dad in him, then like he's good. He's great. Yeah. Like it's when you expect him to not do dad things.
Yeah. Some people people shouldn't be parents. That's just what it is. Some people just they don't have that gene. You know what I'm saying?
Is that Tyler? Does Tyler not have that gene? Oh my God.
And that doesn't make him a bad person. He is so good to friends. He is so good to family. He is so personable. You'll like him as soon as you meet him. The production team, they were like, oh my God, your dad's so great. And he is for who he is. He just isn't a good dad. He's my father, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
that makes a lot of sense. I really appreciate you adding context to
All right, so she's fully aware she's talking about. She's fully aware she's talking about Tyler, even though she's talking about her father. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
the Tyler situation. I'm sure a lot of people listening are wondering, especially that Tyler kind of cracked that seal, has entered into these kids' lives. They seem still pretty young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're like 7 and 5
Okay.
or something.
But time goes fast, and they'll be 18 at some point. Have you and Tyler had conversations about, almost kind of similar to finding out you have a brother,
Mhm.
when that day happens, if these children decide that they want to have a relationship with their biological father, have you guys talked about what conversations or what you guys will do about that?
Yeah, so even during filming, I think I say something along the lines of like, I had to figure out when I chose to say, I'll give this another try, with Tyler, I had to also think about what happens if they do come. Right now, they're removed because you removed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if they do turn 18 and there's no rules to this and they say, I am going to contact you, or
No. Okay, I actually believe she might have given him an ultimatum because there's nothing in her mind that even suggests that prior to them turning 18 and them contacting him, that he would contact them. That's weird. Even if it was like a full donor question, right? This was a good question, but even if it was a full donor situation, right? Imagine the mom, we know the mom and children want him there, right? So it's on him. And she cannot even fathom a world in which he like, you know what? Maybe I should be in their life. She can't even think of that. She's like, if they're 18 and they reached out, I've thought about no. That wasn't a question. And the question about blended family and kind of a potential for your children potentially knowing their siblings, you're like, yeah, if they reach out when they're 18, that's wild. Like she can't even conceptualize him reaching out.
even 16, 15, whatever. They have social media, they have iPads. These kids working better than us. So I'm like, what does that look like? I could not in good faith say yes to a marriage unless I was okay with that coming. And I asked him what that's like for him. And he's like, he's willing to have that tough conversation with them on why, you were supposed to have 2 moms. That is always what the plan was. And things got blurry and things got too deep. And I'm sorry if you were ever hurt in that process when you were young, he says. And I was like, do you think you're really going to be able to say that to him? And he's very confident in that way because he just doesn't see what he did as a negative thing.
Do you see what he did as a negative thing? How are you going to sit there? The funny thing is, even if I donated, for real, donated, went through the process and found out that my children, biological children, wanted to reach out to me, I could not, in good faith, just let it go. I couldn't do that. I could not do that. The fact that your children are out there and you are saying, oh, if they came to me, I'll say, girl, I wasn't supposed to be your dad. I just gave my material and dipped. So, like, that's just that on that over there. Bye. And she's saying this as if it's good. She's saying this as if, oh, yeah, no, I'm fine with him. I'm fine with that. If he said he would have the conversation and dip. Like, yeah, no, bye. What? If this woman, I believe this because Tyler don't gotta say. I think she doesn't want him to talk to his children. That is not her problem, FYI. But I do actually think she's toxic too. She can't fathom it because her father was a. Anyway, I ain't gonna finish reading that. I am not gonna finish reading that, Keela. You're out of pocket. You're out of pocket. Thank you for being a member for 10 months, but I'm not reading that. I'm not finishing that sentence. Mm-mm.
He does see the misfortune and how it went about in the end. He's like, that lady loves some kids. Like, they're taken care of. Like, he doesn't feel like they're in an uncomfortable or, bad home or anything. So for me, I would welcome it. Like, that means I only have to have one, I don't have to like go through that. But like that happened before me. He didn't have kids on me. This is all before me. So I have to kind of take his lead on where he wants to go with that. And I don't want to ever put him in an uncomfortable situation because of things that I want. So, or not saying I want that, but I'm just saying, or things I'm okay with or have looked into.
I know you said like one of your biggest fears is giving birth. And as someone who gave birth 8 months ago, it was the most magical, amazing thing
Really?
ever. Yes. And I know a lot of women like to like, it's scary,
Yeah.
don't do it. It's awful, it's scary. It's not. It's truly like epidural, of course,
Yeah.
but like it was magical.
My mom
and
always
it's the
says
best thing ever.
once you get the kid in your hands, it's all worth it. And I'm like,
Truly.
oh,
You
no.
like black out and you forget everything. But it's
As someone who's never had children, cannot have children, I don't know what this is like, but that is wild to with the maternal mortality rates and with all of the foolishness happening around the world. I mean, it's a magical, beautiful moment. It's apparent good for her. Good for her. What I see ain't that. But period. 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 Good for y'all.
it's like a rush of feelings that you will never experience in any other part of life or doing anything else. It's truly magical.
Wow.
And this was after there were a couple moments of like, I'm never fucking
Yes,
doing
yes,
this
of
again.
course. Yeah, I was very
She
sick
told me
at the
to seriously
beginning, and I
look
was
into
like,
surrogacy if I wanted to have
Yeah.
kids. So,
yeah.
but she-
Oh, wait, are they together? Are they together? He just said she's a whole liar. I don't care nothing. He said verbatim, she lying. That's not true. None of that is true. He literally just said, this is after she told us we can have surrogates because she's not doing that again. But it's the most beautiful, magical moment you can ever feel. All right. So a lot of these mothers come to the front. Mothers come to the front. It sounds like y'all lying to these other women. These women who don't have children, y'all lying. Y'all lying to them. Where are y'all lying? Where, where are y'all lying to these other women? This man just called her out and said, wait, I thought you said you don't ever want to have them again and we can do surrogate if we want. And that was... Wait, why did he call her out? Wait, I don't understand why he called her out. Yeah, something not going well in this relationship if they're the ones together. Wait, are they together? And why did he call her out? Like, sorry, I'm going back. This don't make no sense. Like, why you bold-faced lied?
Saying I want that, but I'm just saying, or things I'm okay with or have looked into.
I know you said like one of your biggest fears is giving birth. And as someone who gave birth 8 months ago, it was the most magical, amazing thing
Really?
ever. Yes. And I know a lot of women like to like, it's scary, don't do it. It's awful, it's scary. It's not. It's truly like epidural, of course, but like it was magical.
My mom
and
always
it was
says
the best thing ever.
once you get the kid in your hands, it's all worth it. And I'm like,
Truly.
oh,
You
no.
like black out and you forget everything. But it's like a rush of feelings that you will never experience in any other part of life or doing anything else. It's truly magical.
Wow.
and this was after there were a couple moments of like, I'm never fucking
Yes,
doing
yes,
this
of
again.
course. Yeah, I was very
She
sick
told me
at the
to
beginning,
seriously
and I
look
was
into
like,
surrogacy if I wanted to have
Yeah.
kids. So,
yeah,
but she-
yeah. Yeah, I did just.
All right, so she just stood up there and lied. She just... I should have known she was lying because I didn't feel like she was telling the truth, but I didn't feel right. As someone who doesn't have children, it's very hard for me to be like, oh my God, it's difficult, right? It looks difficult, but like if women are like, oh, it's not difficult, my fingernail might fall off, my teeth might fall out, my hair might fall out, my body might ache, I might feel this way and that way, right? Maybe they love it. You know what I mean? Like maybe some of us love it. But for the men to call her out now, I'm like, good. Girl, you lying. Girl, you lying. You lie.
Just want to throw that out there. That
Yeah.
really nothing.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
skydiving. How was that?
So he had to go skydiving after all this. So I was like, this is not even a choice.
And I feel like we got this out there, but I want to be very clear to our audience. Prior to you even skydiving or saying yes to him at the altar, you had a very honest conversations. It sounds like your mom was even
Yes.
involved. The show doesn't really show that at all, and it's very unclear how much you know about Tyler's situation. But you knew all of this prior to saying yes.
100%. And at this point, we should have just filmed it. Unfortunately,
because now it feels like it's more damage has been done because of what the internet is spewing than what you could have just said.
Yeah.
And Tyler didn't know what he should or shouldn't say. We can debate whether, yes, we all agree you should have.
blah blah blah. I care nothing about Ashley or Tyler anymore. All I care about now, from a content creation perspective, is dragging and also making sure that they get the children get their child support paid. Yeah, that's all I care about. I care nothing about this woman. This woman chose this man. Apparently, she knew, even if she didn't know. Which, mind you, if I'm being honest, I don't believe she knew. I believe she's trying to save face right now. I do. And I think she does not fully understand that she could have actually been the person on the show that gets the most love for being honest and truthful and engaging meaningfully. She just decided to throw that away. Talking about she knew. Well, you knew. You knew all of this. I wonder, someone need to interview her now. Now that Jessie Wu and forgot her name again. Oh my god, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Reading with Tish, I don't something. Someone need to interview her. Someone now needs to interview her now that all the information is out. Let's see how much Ricky, thank you. Thank you, Murder Magic Tricks. I appreciate Ricky. I appreciate that.
Said it, but we understand
No.
why. And then
Yeah.
at that point, once it came out, he was still trying to protect the kids and his friend, not realizing what
He is not trying to protect no kids. He owe child support.
she was going to do.
Mhm.
And that's why we
Or
wish
Yeah,
we-
yeah, and I think that again, we did try to do it to protect the kids, and I don't really feel bad for making us talk about it because again, I think it would have been worse. But for some reason, viewers think that when we go into this experiment, that like, well, you put your lives up here, we get to judge everything. Well, yeah, to a capacity, like to an extent, yes, because we also still have personal lives and families that didn't sign up for this stuff. So there are things about my mom or about other things that I or my dad or grandma that I wouldn't share on camera. Even about myself, there are things that production always tells us like share what you're comfortable sharing, right? And so I think that the viewers are very very entitled, but I
Well,
get it.
You have to just remember
I get
there's
it.
millions of them.
Yeah.
And most of which are normal.
Yeah.
But 1% of millions is still a lot of annoying fucking people.
Yeah, exactly.
The 1% is the loudest.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And so like it's like, okay, guys, like, yeah, maybe we should have talked about it, but aren't you glad you got a glimpse? No, you want more.
Nope.
So yes, I definitely we had so many conversations on camera. And also it's a sentence I say that wasn't shown where I say something along the lines of during our like my beanie moment. Where I'm like,
She's very
look,
emo.
yeah, that was a mood. I'm like, look, I'm not saying that I'm gonna like go through with this all the way. I'm saying that along my way of trying, we don't have that long for these, days. Our days feel like weeks at a time in this scenario. I'm like, all I know is I don't want to argue every day. I don't want to be malicious every day. And that's a big testament to my growth because I could hold a grudge, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure that the little bit of time we had, I needed to use all of it. So we were doing this like 1 hour a day thing where we would
Okay.
talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's what she. Yeah. She's just making up. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I find her very annoying, and I think the reason because her personality is not something that I dislike generally. I mean, it's very off-putting, I think sometimes, but it's not something I dislike. It's the fact that I know it's not real. Like all this, like speaking is delusional. Like it's like, girl, get out of your head and into reality. Like, look at your life. Okay, that's not anything to brag about. There is nothing to brag about there. Your man is a dusty. He has a bunch of children that you are helping to not take care of. Like,
1 hour a day. And after that hour, that's it. Like,
Wow.
we'll table it. Let's go do this date. Let's go hang with friends. Because I didn't want to live in that moment. Our love story was so much more than that blip. And not saying that the children are a blip.
that's exactly what you're just saying, that one blip. It's not one blip, it's three blips. And they're not blips, they're children that your man, owes child support for. Our love story is greater than that one blip. We don't care nothing about no love story. We care about them children. That's what we care. The fact that you think we care about you individually and that man individually, we don't. We do not care about none of that. As soon as we found children were involved and he's lying and owing child support, we realized it was ghetto and dusty, and so we were tuned in now to help them kids and to apparently to make content, girl.
They'll attack me for that. But like I'm saying, then that blip of dishonesty and that blip of omission. And I'm a big person of trust. And so that was
She does not believe and she does not want to articulate that he lied. Even though she started by saying omission is lie, she keep calling it omission right now. That blip, that blip of that blip of that blip, 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 blip. No, girl, he lied. He's a liar. The only blip here is girl, you the only blip.
Was hard for me because omission is a lie. And I wanted to make sure that this was just a mistake and not a character flaw.
Did you feel like the
He lied to you about children he has and not take care of. He's been evicted multiple times. He literally owes $30,000 allegedly in child support. So take the literally out. He owes a bunch of people money. He lied to you about all of it. He lied to the people. You're gaslighting people, and you think that this is a blip and not a character flaw. All right, girl. Yes, judgment. Come through. Come through growth. Come through discernment. Come through thoughtfulness. Come through overthinker. Useless.
the trust between you and Tyler was broken at that moment?
It wasn't broken, but it was tainted.
Okay.
Well, that was my question, and I thank you for bringing this up because we all go into relationships and we all say trust is paramount. I need trust.
Mhm.
You know, if you break that trust, I'm gone. And that all sounds great until you like live a situation that's a lot more nuanced and unsure. And even in relationships, people omit things. People lie to your face.
Based on the way they're interacting, the fact that I now believe this white man and this white woman are together with children, the way they're talking feels like their relationship is real messy. I won't dig, but now I want to know about their relationship because the way that they're so sympathetic feels weird. Now it feels like they are actually not laughing at her, but they're sympathetic because who knows? Oh, Kyle's favorite. Well, you've been a member for 31 months. I appreciate that so much. Wait, wait, is this rumors? Are you just making stuff up? It is Timmy. She cheated on him multiple. If this is true, if this is true, I literally am just gonna tell myself from now on, and I'm gonna be delusional that I actually do know how to read people. If this is true, because girl.
How did you two work through this violation of trust at such an early stage of your relationship?
That's a great question. I think just continuing the conversation, I will say that the pods or just the whole experiment taught us a lot. I've never had this great of communication with any guy in my entire existence. I think that in the pods, they encourage you to have the tough conversations because you have such a short time to get to learn someone. So you know their traumas before you know their likes and their fun things. So every day, that's what we were doing is literally just continuing the conversation. And I also told him, I was like, there are gonna be days I'm not in the best of moods either. How are you gonna navigate that? Because maybe I just like am having a day where I'm trying to figure out like, what is this going to be like? Like, what is it going to be like when it airs? I considered that I don't think he was very naive to what this was going to be when it aired. As far as the trust and like how to rebuild, there's no rule book for that either or a blueprint. I wish there was. I just had to like deep dive, or take a leap of faith and just say like, okay, I see this man and I know him and the people who ever meet him, it could be at Target and the way he treats people. There's no way this is the guy you guys are mischaracterizing online. People are good, but they ain't that good, and damn sure not for a year.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not like.
What have you?
Girl, someone can keep up a mask for over 3 years. No, I don't feel bad for her. She lying. She know the negative. She knows he's lying. He's not tricking her. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh, he's lying to her. Oh, he tricked her. Oh, she's no. She is choosing to be delusional. That is her choice. He's doing nothing to her. She is doing this to herself. Yeah. She is the one talking about, oh, if we don't meet them ever again, just know that we care. What do you mean if we don't meet? That's his children.
Done to work with Tyler about his people pleasing? Because it's crazy. You know, you tell this story, and what's crazy about this story is that like he almost lost you. I'm going to safely assume one of the best parts of his life, his now wife, for people pleasing.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did for
What? What? He almost lost her for what now? I mean, he did almost lose her for people pleasing, but I don't think it means the same thing you think it means. Because he was definitely out here pleasing the girl. He was a pleaser. 3 children later with a gay couple. He was pleasing, of course. He was pleasing, all right. he was, he was yeah, he was pleasing them. He was pleasing the gay to my lesbian couples in the chat. Hey girls, I love y'all. I know y'all love me, so hugs. But he was pleasing the gay couple. Let me stop. I can't. I can't. Period. And what about it?
or his friend is a noble thing. It was a great thing. And then for him to also enter into this family when her partner left, another noble thing. But should he have done it? You could argue maybe not.
Yeah.
Like his reasoning for doing it is because he wanted to do the right thing, and it almost completely blew up in his face. And then he told you, but he wanted to do the right thing. But it's like this is a him problem, and an adult man. Like it's crazy how even trying to do the right thing could have a great cost to it, and it almost did. Like how are you guys working through that as a couple? Because you have seen firsthand just how dangerous people pleasing can be.
Yeah. This is a conversation I had with him a lot. Like even at
Girl, they came together and they said the theory of the case is people pleasing. And that's the process by which we're going to engage with this. The issue isn't that he's a degenerate who was evicted, who owes child support, an absent deadbeat father who owes a bunch of people money. Nope, we're not doing that. What we're going to do instead is say that people pleasing is the problem. He's too willing to please people. You know what? You're right. He too willing to please people. He just pleasing everyone. Let's hope that he don't continue to please people outside of you, girl. Let's hope for your sake that he's not out here pleasing other couples, giving them children. Stupies, hey, how are you? The Love is Blind convo draw me out. Oh, welcome. Ain't nobody taking advantage of that man. Right.
like in work or wherever, like there are boundaries.
Yeah.
There are boundaries. You can be a good person. I hate when he's like, oh, I'm just friendly. No, like you can be a good person and still have boundaries. You can say no to your friends, like when they need something some days. There are also times where you're not mentally available or emotionally available and you still pour into people and now you're drained at the end of the day and I'm taking care of you. You know, like, no, tell people I'll check in with you the next day. So I'm teaching him how to be mean, not
This is a conversation about his children. I think I might be right. Is she teaching him how to have boundaries with his children? And the boundary is leave me alone. What? Yeah, wait. Wait. I hope. Wait. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Does y'all think this woman really sat down, Tyler, and said that lesbian woman is taking advantage of you and your people pleasing ways? Leave her and them kids alone. Because while they were dating and together, he was talking to her, to Bree, whatever her name is. I'm teaching him how to be mean. This is like she's speaking generally, but you have to understand the context for the conversation, which is the children. Now, let me order some tteokbokki while we watch this foolishness because I haven't eaten. Y'all want something? Drop what you want in the chat. I'll get it for y'all. I want tteokbokki.
Mean, but
Yeah.
set boundaries and to stick to them and to be okay with that. And notice that setting boundaries does not mean you're not a good person or that you're not there for someone. It just means that you have to prioritize yourself.
Yeah, put yourself first.
Yeah.
You seem very emotionally brilliant.
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
like
You seem emotionally brilliant is wild. I want to update my thumbnail now and put emotionally brilliant. I want to put emotionally brilliant as my thumbnail. Oh, crumble cookie is delivering. Should I order crumble? Let's look at their flavors. Let's see the flavor of the week. Semi-sweet chocolate chunk. Why would I want semi-sweet and not sweet? Chocolate cupcake, no. Pumpkin roll, pink donut, lemon, maple glaze, snickerdoodle. All right, well, ew. Nope, no thank you. Has anyone seen Tyler? Absolutely not. She's the only one out here doing the talking.
do you think that comes from your mom? I mean, how are you like this?
Like people used to say when I was younger, I was like a wise young lady. I don't know. I think that my intuition and like my discernment is good. And I think that I'm someone who always strives to not be a good person. That's so cliche, but like I have good intentions and I want people.
You literally just said you're teaching him how to be mean. You literally just sat there and said, I am teaching him how to be mean, blah, 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 boundary, be. Then you're like, oh, I strive to be a good person. No, you don't. You don't care nothing about being good. You just talked about how, oh my God, I'm just so bougie. No, you're not either. Just terrible person. Ain't bougie, just terrible. I want desserts. I actually thought I was hungry, but I'm not hungry. I want sugar. I'm so mad at myself for finishing Agatha all along, too. Now I don't have anything to watch. Ugh. What were they talking about? They were talking about some foolishness about her being emotionally intelligent.
That my intuition and like my discernment is good. And I think that I'm someone who always strives to not be a good person. That's so cliche, but like I have good intentions and I want people to treat me how I treat them. And I have a big heart and I'm very loyal and I've been burned by that a lot, but it never stops me from being that way. And I also just try to understand people, even from my friends, and then also hear what my friends say about me. Like I've had friends say like, oh, you're too blunt. I'm like, well, that's just who I am. But no, you need to treat that friend in a different way, you know, whereas another friend, you can be blunt, you know?
Right.
And it sounds like you're not afraid to have people frustrated with you or disappointed with you because that's how you set a boundary, because setting a boundary is removing access. So, and
I would decline calls. I would sorry, girl.
Yeah,
I love you so much. I'm not emotionally available. I can't.
Well, thank you for being so transparent about this whole backstory and providing the much, much needed context. I have a few more questions for you about your castmates, but before we do, we have our texting office hours, and I think our audience would love to hear you give relationship advice to a caller. So
I want to move on, but now I want to hear the advice she's giving to the audience. So I'm so sorry. Hang on with me. I have one more. I need to hear this. By the way, in the after show, I wanted us to talk about the video that I just released today. If you haven't seen it, you should see it on the Megan Thee Stallion documentary. But it looks like everyone and I were on similar pages, and it doesn't seem like anyone had any big issues with the video. So we might just not have an after show. I thought you guys would have disagreed or something. So good on y'all.
it's time to put on headphones.
The headphones.
And then we'll get to see what's next for Tyler and Ashley. And then we'll send her on her way. How's it going?
Good. I'm Sierra and I'm 38, and my boyfriend tells me I talk too much.
Oh, well, do you think he's right?
I think at times, yes.
Okay, fair. What don't you think is fair about that statement?
That it's because it's something that it usually has to involve feelings or something I'm trying to share about how I feel about a situation or something I'm passionate about. And then I end up going more and more into information and maybe run on in my words.
And what do you think do you think your boyfriend doesn't listen enough?
He listens, but I know he's like, for lack of better words, ADD. And after the first couple sentences, he stopped listening, especially if I say how I I feel. And he's like, okay, she feels that way. And it's like his brain has moved on to the next
So
thing.
he's gone and you're still explaining your feelings.
How long you been dating this guy?
14 months.
Okay.
And it is a really, I mean, I know there's always room for improvement for everybody, but it is a really healthy relationship, I will say. And it's good. It's just, I know that there's things that I have to work on. I've been working on myself for, I don't know, 20, I mean, I've been in and out of therapy for 20 years. So I've always worked on myself and I know that I always have more to work on. But I also don't know if he like past stuff, like he doesn't want, like something about feelings conversations triggers him. I don't know.
So what do you love about your relationship? Let's start there.
He loves me in a way that I've always wanted to be loved and didn't think that it existed.
Okay.
He accepts the love I have to give and the way that I give love. He accepts that and takes my love. And we do have good communication. Just sometimes when it gets onto topics he's not comfortable with or my feelings, gets a little rocky. But
the only thing I'm confused about your statement is that like that all sounds nice, but your feelings are kind of a big deal in a relationship. And then you say that like anytime you express your feelings, he shuts down. So how are you able to feel loved in the way you want to be loved if you can't ever express how you feel?
Yeah.
I thought this was Ashley giving advice. I don't care nothing about this man giving no advice. The question is dumb. The question is dumb. Let me be very clear. My boyfriend tells me I talk too much. It's a terrible question. What should I do? That is a terrible question. Terrible. I ain't got no answer. If you don't know what to do, I don't know what to do either. Yeah, if you don't know what to do, I don't know what to do either. If you like it, I love it.
I mean, he makes me on a daily basis. I mean, we do life together. I don't know how to go into details, but really, just your everyday life. Like we don't have regular issues on a daily. Well, I will say we have a 19-year age gap. So that's something I also wanted to talk to you and Natalie about because I know you guys have an age gap.
Is he older?
Yeah, he's 57 and I'm 38.
Okay.
So he was married for 30 years. And I've never been married. So obviously we come from two different backgrounds. So I don't know. I feel like maybe past issues, like he just, when a conversation's going to come up, it triggers him to want to because of the marriage. I don't know how.
Why do people do this? Why are you sitting there making up excuses for him? Ask him why it is that he can't hold himself steady enough to hear what you have to say. And if you're okay with it, then be with him. If you're not, then leave him. Ain't nobody got time. Like the fact that you're like, oh my God, and I don't care nothing about this conversation. I literally only want to hear what Ashley has to say. Because the fact that you're sitting there like, oh, he has trauma, he has this, he has that. That's why he can't listen to me. It's like, no, he just don't want to. He ain't no trauma in none of that. He don't want to. He does not want to listen to you. He does not want to hear you. He does not want to engage. It's him. He don't want to do it. Stop making up excuse about his trauma. He never told you anything about his trauma. This man ain't never told you, oh, I have trauma. Unless he did. Then say, he told me this. So we can say, oh, so you believe that foolishness. You believe that man saying he can't listen to you talk about how you feel and express yourself because, well, his past trauma told him he can't do it. That's fine with you. If you like it, again, I love it. Ain't nobody got time. Sorry. It's just wild to me. And I know I'm not sitting here trying to hear none of this. I just want to hear what Ashley has to say.
Detailed and supposed to go, but she was an alcoholic. And so she couldn't have conversations with him without having liquid courage.
Well, I guess the only thing I would say, not knowing anything about your situation, so not to compare ours with yours, but one thing I've had to learn, I had to learn, I guess we both had to learn, is that like our age gap wasn't an excuse to avoid, I guess, certain conversations, or I couldn't just be like, well, I'm
Wait, he got storytelling trauma. Like what? Like what? Like the fact is, as soon as you start saying things out loud, you're like, oh wait, never mind. Like that's how I am. Like if I start like, I'll go to my friend and I'm like, hey, I need to tell you something. I start talking, I was like, oh, never mind, my bad. Got it. Like these people are going on and on and on, and it's like, wait, you don't see the problem? You think this is fine? This man is 15 years your senior or something. And he gonna tell you, don't tell him nothing about what you're feeling. He shuts off. You say, oh, he has ADD, so he can't listen. Go give him Adderall. What do you mean? Oh, he has trauma, and so he can't listen. What? Are you hearing yourself? You're hearing what you're saying. You're hearing the excuse you're giving to this man. Got it. As long as you hear it. As long as you hear, this is what I'm saying. Every time I hear an example of, oh, I can't vet, it's like, all right, 3 children later, and you're the fourth baby mama. It's like, wait, what? Like, I'm confused. If he lied, fine, got it. But like, a lot of this is just like, he don't like you that much. He doesn't care enough to hear what you have to say. He literally just doesn't care enough to hear what you have to say. And I don't have to meet him to say that. I could be wrong, but I like when I'm listening to you, you feel it. That's why you're like, he tells me I talk too much and he doesn't listen. You feel it. Why are you not trusting your feelings? Trust your feelings. Ugh. Sorry, I don't want to get into the sappy sad. Oh my God, we're all friends mode. I prefer the drinking, I don't care mode. I prefer that mode.
This is who I am, and I need you to accept where I'm at in life. I was like, I'm going to choose to be in a relationship with someone who might have a different background or a different point of view on life. And I couldn't always expect Natalie to meet me where I was at, and vice versa. We had to lean on more what we had in common and then address our differences and then be willing to not use those differences as ways to be disconnected. But the way you describe it, it's kind of like, hey, old dog, no new tricks. And I'm 57. And so like, this is who I am, and therapy, you're like, whatever. I don't know if he's in therapy or anything like that, but it just seems he seems.
I don't care what you have to say. I want to hear what Ashley has to say, because Ashley was just telling people that they need to meet other people where they are. Don't try to change them. Just meet them where they are. That's what Ashley said. That's what Ashley have learned. So I want to hear what Ashley has to say.
Very set in his ways.
He is, in a lot of ways he is. And it is funny you said that. It is like harder with some generations, like they are the way they are. And I'm trying to integrate into because I'm really big into, I've been in out therapy. I read your book on top of tons of other books that have to do with emotion, reaction, how the mind and emotions work, how we are affected by those around us, how we take things, how we react to things. Really big on psychology stuff. So mental health is huge to me. And I'm way different than I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Sarah,
So,
sorry to cut you off. Did you say that his ex-wife was an alcoholic?
mhm.
So just listening to you, it could be just maybe something to explore. It could be that now he correlates women expressing themselves and their feelings to the trauma of his ex being an alcoholic, and that being the only time that she would feel comfortable to express herself. So it's a little bit of trauma there. And I used to date an alcoholic, so I can definitely be a testimony to that.
Of course you did. Of course. No, what? At least the guy was engaging in some meaningful something. Ashley is like, you're talking too much. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm not actually sorry, because I'm still going to cut you off. And I'm going to tell you that, oh, yeah, by the way, I used to date an alcoholic, so maybe you sound like an alcoholic when you talk. You are in fact triggering this man, because you sound like an alcoholic and he has trauma from having dated an alcoholic. So it is your fault. And what about it? He gets PTSD when she talks. she does look like she's full of.
You don't want to talk to them when they're in that state, right? And so now, with you being a new woman, he's taking his past experiences and unfortunately putting it into his new relationship. And maybe that's something that you guys could explore when he's emotionally and mentally available to do so.
Is he in therapy? Is he even open to the idea?
Yes, he is in therapy. So what brought him to therapy? So between the wife and ex-wife and me was a relationship and of about 6 years. And
Wait, did she just say between the wife, the ex-wife, and another? You know what? To each their own. I ain't even gonna rewind it, because I don't care what she actually says.
she passed in a very unfortunate accident. And then very shortly after, he's messaging me, and I was very open, and I was like, "You are in a very, very traumatic time, and it's very soon." And we talked about everything, and I voiced all my concerns. And that hasn't posed any issues. He's followed through with all of his words, everything he's ever said to me, he's shown me. Like he didn't just, like I said, I don't want to be a band-aid, basically. to this trauma that he experienced, and I have not felt like one.
Have you tried couples therapy?
I really want to.
Well, the only reason
The fact that y'all sitting out here talking about this man dated an alcoholic, so he has trauma whenever a woman is talking to him about their feelings, and y'all accepting that as some kind of truth is wild. That is absolutely not. The fact that women are these women up here and the women on the phone are anyhow in any way, yo, man go run amok. Man will continue to run amok. There is no reason for them to stop. There's none. There's no reason for men to stop running amok. The fact that y'all sit up here talking about the reason he don't want to hear her talk about her feelings is because he has trauma from dating an alcoholic who talks about her feelings. Is that your final answer? Because I have another answer. He's not that into you, and if he's into you, he don't care nothing about what you got to say about you. He does not care. That's it. That's it. That's it. Trauma from an alcoholic ex is nasty word. Sorry, I'm kind of invested in the foolishness. I'm kind of invested in the foolishness. Yeah, Discord, come. We need to talk. Because I need to not get some sense.
I suggest that just because your problem, and I think Ashley makes a great point, is like, now I do couples therapy. And then like, I know a lot of people go in there and try to have the people fix their partners and shit like that. But for us, it's really just like anytime there's a disconnect, or sometimes now if we're in an argument and we realize like we could either argue for half a day about this, or we could call a therapist and have him play mediator almost. And given your issue with your partner, he's having a hard time articulating his feelings, or having a hard time letting you articulate yours and hearing you out. And a good couples therapist will allow you the space to share while he'll be watching your partner. And he'll hopefully see the trigger, and maybe at that point, look at your partner and go, wait, what's going on here? And that way, hopefully that could be the space where you start expressing your feelings. Now, that's not sustainable. You have to get to a place where you can do this with a therapist. But a good couples therapist will do exactly what your partner's having a hard time doing. Will allow them and find a way for you guys to find that common ground. And the fact that he's open to therapy might be a good suggestion, but it might be a lot easier than you at 38 trying to change your 57-year-old boyfriend on your own and get him to open up. It might just be a lot easier to, if you have the means to bring in the old professional.
Yeah, so that was what took him to therapy, was that trauma of losing his mate. And so that's why he's in it. But of course, he talks about his parents and his children and, other things, but he is in it. I do want to try couples therapy because he does have a little bit of a block just when it comes to like topics on my feelings. And it's not that he's against my feelings or doesn't care, but it does, something is triggered and he does shut down a little bit, and he just doesn't he only wants to hear it once.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get a little bit in my past, I've not expressed myself. I've just shut up and do what you're told, and wasn't healthy mentally, and allowed relationships to just be unhealthy.
To be like 38 with a 57-year-old boyfriend going to couples therapy because your 57-year-old boyfriend say you're annoying and he don't want to hear you because you talk too much is nasty work. Get off my phone. There's nothing, I can't tell you, a period. I can't tell you anything.
Yeah, I feel like, again, without trying to, we could sit here and guess all different approaches you could take, but like you said, like it seems like a daunting task to try to do this on your own. And his individual therapy isn't going to necessarily address this because, like you said, who knows what he could be addressing? Shit, he might be talking about things he experienced as a 10-year-old boy, and there's so, he's got his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriend who passed. So you have specific requests and specific needs as it pertains to your relationship with him, and that's where a couples therapist can come in, because you need to be able to get your feelings out. He needs to hear them. He needs to acknowledge them, and he needs to do it in a safe environment, and hopefully that couples therapist will create that. At least it's a good place to start.
Yeah, I think it's something that we should really look into, because I think it would really help calm that.
Yeah.
And then on the age gap thing, is there any, advice or?
My advice would be to not accept the age gap as an excuse for disconnection, I guess is the simplest way. Like at no point is, well, I'm just 18 years older than you, is an acceptable answer. You guys are in a committed relationship. And I think a lot of people would.
Is it a committed relationship though? It feels like one person is committed and the other one is not very committed to hearing anything. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So it's never an excuse to use your age gap as a reason to stay disconnected from your partner. And if that is the case, then you guys need to find different ways to connect.
Yeah, I think that my insecurities being younger, being like, oh, like, I don't know how to put it, but, I'm just younger. And I was like, you're just like, no, don't know. I've been around longer. Not that he says that, but like,
that's my point. It's
that.
just like, Nelly might be a lot younger than me, but she's my equal. And the moment I didn't think she is, then we shouldn't be together, And so if
a lot younger, how young? How much younger is? I have questions. I have a lot of questions about this white man and this white woman. I have many questions. How much younger is she? Like, don't brush. She's a lot younger than me. How much younger, girl? Because if you were like 30, all right, let's see. He's 38. 38, 30. He's like 36, 37, 38. Like, if he's 40, it's a good 40. But, like, I can see him being 40, right? So, 40. No, I think he's like 37. I want to know her age. I want to know her age now.
If you start seeing yourself as not as his equal, then you won't be his equal. So
it's also, I feel like, focusing on what you have in common, and then the stuff that you don't have in common, it's more of like an excitement to show each other what you don't.
This one is tough. This is tough. I can't tell her age. I cannot tell her age. I don't know her age. She could be 21. She could be 32. Can't tell her age.
Don't have in common. Like Nick loves showing me these older movies that came out when he was a kid, and it's like I wasn't even a thought in my mother's head. And it's like something that we enjoy rather than him being like, "Oh God, you weren't even a thought when this movie came out." It's more like, "Oh, I really want to show you." So I feel like it's like focusing on the stuff that you have in common and enjoying the things that you don't have in common.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
Yeah, we do that pretty good. It's just the feelings part.
It is a big deal. It's not sustainable.
Wait, Nella, are you joking? Are you joking? Nella, can you let me know if you're joking? Ew, 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 ew. And they have a child, so they've been together before she was 25. How long have they been? Ew,
Sustainable to have them ignored. And honestly, I think if you have the means, I would say couples therapy would be the easiest way to tackle this problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the call.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
See you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
That was intense.
Yeah.
I know you have to get going.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
What's next for you and Tyler? Let's start there.
Don't care. I'm gonna see.
Welcome to Tea Time. She's here,
Blind
everybody.
times. Love is blind times, tea time.
Exactly. Cheers to that.
No golden cups, but that's okay on the next one.
You know what I don't understand? I don't understand Raven Simone and this late. You know what? It don't matter. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. I love Raven Simone, and that's all that matters.
Oh my gosh, the golden cups. What about those golden cups, Ashley? Do they tell you from the get-go, like, you only are allowed to drink liquids out of golden cups?
They in fact do. They literally do. I thought, during the pods specifically, and then, for like rights reasons and things, if you're drinking anything else, you just have to move it out of the frame, or sometimes they may blur it. But I assume, I don't know this for sure, but if they've got pre-approval, I think they show some. So I've seen a Gatorade bottle showing once.
Interesting.
So
I'm not doing it. Kenny said I'm Ashley'd out. So am I. And there is a vibe that I get from this lady here. that I won't discuss. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to engage with it. I don't know. I can't. And you want to know, before she even spoke, I got it. And then she said, "Oh, I didn't know who Raven Simone was before we got together and before we," yeah. I was like, sounds like Mr. Biles to me. So there was a vibe I got before she even spoke, and I thought I was being unfair. I really did. And then she spoke, and I heard her, and I was like, But I've always been suspicious of Raven generally, but I still like her as one of the first on Disney Channel. So she's gonna always have some level of respect from me. But I'm gonna just leave that alone, and let's get into the after show. I'm gonna leave that alone. I can't watch another. I can't watch another Ashley video. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I can't. I wanted to, but I can't. I thought I was strong. All right. So, it's going to be a real quick after show, I believe. There might be someone in the chat who is like, they disagreed with something that I said on the Megan Thee Stallion documentary review. If there's anyone who has anything that they would like to add, let me know. I bought a cam link. So this weekend, I have a bunch of birthday parties that I told people that I was gonna go to, but like I kind of don't want to go. It's so cold outside. Like, who wants to go out? Why y'all having parties and birthdays? Ugh. So I may not do it. But if I stay home, which I really want to stay home and eat, drink hot chocolate and just relax. So if I stay home, I'm gonna go live and play my game, Mario. And we can play games and talk on this weekend, just some chill type stuff. So yeah, cool. All right. Seeing that there's no one coming up, no one disagrees. I've canceled all weekends plans. Yeah, I want to do it too. I just want to lay in my bed with a huge comforter, or like bring my comforter down to my downstairs to my, what's that thing called? My couch out there, and watch TV and like play Mario Kart or something. I'm abandoning them birthdays for Mario. Period. All right. Chill type stuff is the best type stuff. Period. Thank you. All right. Seeing that there is no one that disagrees with me, I will say this round I win. I have a very good video I think that I'm trying to do, and I look forward to like discussing it with you all. I have a couple of vlogs that I want to post for the members. So all the members, next week I will have vlogs up for you. There's one from Puerto Rico, two from New York, one from Philadelphia, and then there's another cooking with one of my friends that I've did a long time ago, that I should have had up already, but it wasn't up. So I'm gonna try to do that at some point. I win, you lose. Ha 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 ha. I'm a bad. I'm a bad. Hey y'all, I was on the plan with Dwayne. You can call me Whitley. I go to hell, man. Listen, I'm the baddest in the school, the baddest in the game. Excuse me, honey, but nobody's in my lane. But you was in New York. You was in the Yankee. I was in the base. I was pitching the Frankie. They're so cranky. Get them a hanky. Little mommy, I'm cold. Give me my blankie. Fly it in a kite. I get hide and Rapunzel. Keep it Snow White. I can bite by the bundle. Start the cookies up before they crumble. Don't be acting like the Carnegie or go rumble. Cause I'm a stealer for the other healer. All the dope boys gon' steal her. Flow so sick I need a healer. My Mac and seal, I be eating queens on the back of foot. Wheels, I'm a big deal. That's why I get more than a pigtail. Listen on, I'm getting the munchies. I think I'll have a wrap for my entree. Shine my shoe, you know I keep it bad. Let me sing it, booze. I'm the only thing hopping like a kangaroo. I mean, the only thing popping like a kangaroo. Listen, you should buy a 16 gallery. The 8 woof woof gallery. And you can't find it in gallery good. I'm the. If you see a itty bitty piggy in the market, give the a quarter and a dog tell a pocket. I don't pigs like assalamu alaikum. I put them in. I'm a bacon, and if you see a itty bitty piggy in the, give the quarter and then tell a pocket. I don't repeat like I'm like them. I know. Period. Big old big. You can trust him is going to sing Nicki Minaj. Period. Oh no, I hope not. That's transformative work. And I was doing it with an accent, so hopefully the system can pick it up. All right. By parting is such sweet sorrow. Bye, everyone. You want to know something terrible that I did this week? I'm going to show y'all something that I did this week. Watch this. And I think I should be disappointed in myself. All right. I'm going to go in my history. I literally woke up on Sunday, started doing this, and never stopped. And this is wild. This is actually wild to me. Look at this. I watched almost 10 hours of some random men online reviewing the Teen Titans, all the episodes. Why did I do this? I don't know. Literally, before I went to work, I would listen to it while I'm working, while I'm on the Discord. Before I went to bed, I listened to 10 hours of someone reviewing every single episode of Teen Titans. And it's not just 10, there's another episode on the channel that is like 4. Let me go on this channel. Let me show you all this.
Wait, remember?
This is wild to me that I would do some foolishness like this. It's showing that I'm only watching part of this. I watched this entire thing. This was 4 hours and this was 10 hours, and I'm almost done with the 10-hour one. Why? why would I do that? Why did that happen? And how did I get sucked in? I love Teen Titans, by the way. I do. So I don't I'm actually not even sure how I did that. Anywho, if you want to know anything about Teen Titans, just let me know. And that's just that on that. If you all have any weird obsessions about things you watch on YouTube, let me know. That's diabolical to me. Seeing that and the waste of my time is weird. Any case, I enjoyed being here with you. Now I'm gonna go to my people in the Discord so we can hang out. So we can hang out and watch things or talk. No, if anyone is Raven is that girl. I did not like Beast Boy's power. I did not like Robin don't got no power. I like Starfire. Did not like Cyborg that much, but I did like Raven. Raven's story with her dad trying to take over the world and destroy the world was like the most epic thing on. Was it? I think it was Cartoon Network. TEENTATAMS. Tunes. Let's go. All right. Bye. Oh, I love Sailor Moon too, and Naruto. I can't rewatch Sailor Moon. Sorry, Sailor Moon did not hold up. Sailor Moon did not hold up for me. Dragon Ball Z did not hold up for me. So I can't. Those are two series that I tried to watch Sailor Moon, but it was just too cheesy. I just couldn't do it. Like I understand it, loved it at the time, but I can't rewatch it. But Naruto, girl. To be fair though, after the Bushiroad Lee, after Bushiroad lost that fight, I keep watching up until that point, and every single time I stop after that point. Um, and I know he got better, but like it was too emotional. Like I almost cried. I almost cried when Bushibo lost to, oh my god, what's the Sandman name? What's the Sandman? Oh my god. Anyway, the Sandman. So yeah. I can't rewatch Dragon Ball Z either. I like JJK. They need to come back. What else am I watching? Hunter x Hunter is cute. Hunter x Hunter. I like Hunter x Hunter, but there's some things in there that I don't like, particularly because it is about children, and there is a villain with. I'm not going to talk about it, but there's parts of Hunter x Hunter that I find really disturbing. Thank you, Gara. Gara. But yeah, anywho, I don't like Hisoka. I don't like Hisoka. I don't like his character. I don't think it's necessary. Whoever wrote it, the way that they draw some of these characters and the way they engage with some of these characters, I don't know. I've never looked into the artists. I've never looked into the animators, but I have a very, very, very specific problem with Hisoka and his character. Like I have a very specific problem. It's not necessary. Anyway, all right. Cool. So I am going to go. I didn't realize there were so many anime people here. I'm new to it. Castlevania was that girl. I know it's not anime, don't at me, but I do like Castlevania and all the offshoots of Castlevania. If you haven't seen Castlevania, you need to watch it. All right. Bye. Nocturnal is really good. Nocturnal is really good. All right. Bye. Can we all just agree that Piccolo is a black man? No, you're gonna have to explain why. Wait, the reason I didn't like Dragon Ball Z when I was growing up, what's his name? The bald head guy with the dots. What's the bald head guy with the dots? Sorry, I'm terrible at name. What is the bald head guy with the dot? The reason I can't go back to Dragon Ball Z is that Krillin, is it Krillin? Is it? Yeah, I think it's Krillin. I think so. That man has never won a fight. He has never been good. He's never been useful. The fact is, if you weren't from another planet and they give you all the power in the world, it felt like they never wanted to give Krillin a chance. I felt bad for him, girl. Everyone beat him up. Everyone, his power level is like literally at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, like just trash, 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 trash. And like, I felt bad for him and I felt bad for his fans. It's like, why are you a fan of Krillin? See, here's a fan. Here's a fan. Like, how are you? Krillin should not have a fan. Krillin is that punching bag that was there in the corner to be beaten and discarded and saved by Goku. Like, how do you lose every single fight? How is your power level always the weakest? How are you useless? How are you never saving the day? How don't you level up? Why are you like this? So I couldn't keep watching because every time I see him, I would just get nauseous. I'm like, ugh, like just I'm sick of you. but I feel sorry for you and I don't know what to do with this information. Like, it's like, you annoy me. Your existence annoy me in this show. And the fact that people are like, oh, he's powerful. He hasn't what? That man has found his potential, leaped into his potential, developed his full potential, and it's just nothing there. Krillin is at his best, and it's still the worst. Like, it's like, girl, you're useless. Meditate on that a little bit and then just drop out. And he's the first one to jump into a fight like, oh my God, I'm going to save the world. You're not saving anything. You're going to need saving in a minute. You're not saving. They should have just wished for on the Dragon Balls to make him powerful. Make Krillin useful. make Krillin good at something. At talking, charisma, beauty, something. Give this thing something outside of he needs saving. So Krillin, it's gonna be a no from me. Just a useless. Anywho, with that said, have y'all drop a one, by the way, if you've watched Cat's Eye. And Krillin is probably the strongest human, but in comparison to random aliens, yeah. Well, he's not fighting humans, is he? Is he fighting you humans? Jamal, is he fighting humans or not? Drop a one if you watch the Cat's Eye documentary. I just need to see who I need to give gifts to. Drop a one if you've watched the Cat's Eye documentary. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wait, we're the ones. If you haven't seen the Cat's Eye documentary, please go watch the Cat's Eye documentary. It's such a beautiful. It's about putting together this really super group that is like amazing and great and better than every single group you've ever seen. So please watch that, and we can come together and talk about how great Manon is. Go watch Cat's Eye documentary. I forgot. It's called Dream Academy, I think. And then we can come back and talk about Manon. All right, great. Thank you all. Y'all haters. So bye for real this time. For real, bye.